2.5%. More on these stories at townhall.com.
You just grin and bear it or bite the bullet when it comes to everyday pain? Don't. Try Relief Factor, a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, it's developed by doctors. In 3 weeks or less, you'll know whether it works for you like it works for me. Try Relief Factor for yourself. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Madame Giselle senses something in your future.
Is my boyfriend going to propose?
It's a big storm.
Wait, we're going to get in a fight?
No, a literal storm. Wind, heavy wind. I see a tree falling on your RV.
Oh, that's fine. I'm covered by Progressive. So, is my boyfriend there? Maybe on one knee?
The entire roof is crushed.
So, no ring.
Be prepared for the unexpected with Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Product features subject to policy terms and may not be available in all states or for all vehicles and covered selections.
The U.S. and 11 other countries calling for an immediate 21-day ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon, urging
mediated negotiations between Israel and Hezbollah to try to reach a further truce along the border there, but starting to look at implementing some very long-standing United Nations agreements or resolutions around where Hezbollah should be, around Israel's activity and behavior on the border. So something far further reaching. But I think the attempt here by the US and by the French in particular is to try to get an immediate de-escalation, a pause in the fighting, and then to use that to get the breathing space to try and get things on a firmer footing.
The BBC's Tom Bateman at the UN in New York. Cambodia has broken ground to build a canal that will eventually link its capital, Phnom Penh, to the Gulf of Thailand. Who's funding the project? You guessed it, Communist China. News and analysis, townhall.com. The fate of a death row inmate rests in the hands of Oklahoma's governor.
52-year-old Emmanuel Littlejohn is scheduled to die by lethal injection for the 1992 shooting death of a convenience store owner during a robbery in Oklahoma City. During testimony before the Pardon and Parole Board last month, Littlejohn apologized to the victim's family, but denied firing the fatal shot. Prosecutors say 2 teenage store employees who witnessed the robbery both said it was Littlejohn who shot and killed the convenience store owner, not co-defendant Glenn Bethany, who was given life in prison without parole. The parole board recommended Littlejohn be granted clemency. I'm Donna Warder.
The Army and the Air Force, the Marine Corps, and the Space Force all say they will meet their recruiting goals by the end of this month. The Navy will come close. Results represent a slight uptick in young people joining the military. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Ooh, almost there.
It is. We got the big weekend coming up with, of course, the fair preview starting this weekend. The, of course, Red Dirt Black Gold in Artesia's this weekend.
Yes.
Of course, we got Football Friday tomorrow night. We got the Boxing Hall of New Mexico, Golden Gloves Boxing Hall of Fame Saturday night. It's a bevy activity.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm missing stuff. I know. There's more.
I definitely have to make a phone call today. For sure. I have to get a hold of the young lady who's putting Red Dirt Black Gold together, get some details in order, and get an interview recorded.
Very good.
Yes. So it's going to be a good time, though. If you're in the Artesia area, come on out. 21 and older, it's, I believe, $10. 21 and or 20 and younger, absolutely free.
Yeah.
Music, entertainment starting at 4 p.m. Stuff happening all day in downtown Artesia.
If you're a Red Dirt country music fan, then it's going to be your Shangri-La.
Now, I do need to clarify something.
All right.
Because I had somebody ask me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The headliner for Red Dirt Black Gold is not, in fact, Lee Greenwood.
No.
No. It is Pat Green.
Yes.
For those
we did a whole Lee Greenwood conversation yesterday.
For those who don't quite know, you'd know the song Wave on Wave. It came upon me, wave on wave. That's the guy who we have headlining for Red Dirt Black Gold.
Yeah.
Not Lee Greenwood.
No, I slipped of the tongue.
Just for clarification.
I slipped of the tongue and said it, and then
but somebody asked me even after
it started a diatribe. That was on me.
I heard you guys talking about Lee Greenwood. Is he going to be here? I'm like, no.
Actually, he is on tour, though.
Yeah?
I just saw a commercial as I was leaving the house where he's doing his God Bless the USA tour. I'm assuming it's coming to New Mexico somewhere because it was on KOB4's advertisement there. So.
Give me a moment.
All right. But so he is actually coming to New Mexico, I think. I'll look. I just saw a commercial. I was walking out the door this morning, and I caught Lee Greenwood, the God Bless the USA tour, and then I was out the door, and I missed it. So, but that is a true thing that he's coming there somewhere. But yeah, but we got a lot going on this weekend, and of course we'll keep you up to date on that. Plus, we're going to be at a bevy of different remotes locations this weekend. It's a busy weekend, and then of course. Fair and all that. Fair parade on Monday, and then we roll right into the Eastern New Mexico State Fair all next week here. So it's a busy time here in Southeast New Mexico. Let me give you the rundown for today's show because I do have some replays. We're going to replay our interview. Matter of fact, we had James Duffy and Jonathan Dudley join us yesterday to talk livestock shows and the auction at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. We're going to play that for you this hour. John Noble from Roswell Seed joined us Monday. We're going to play that interview for you in the 8 o'clock hour. In the 9 o'clock hour, Bob Power is going to join us talking about another event happening, dance tomorrow night at Westminster Presbyterian Church. And they always have a good time, usually like $5, and they all night of dancing and great food and everything else. So they'll do that again Friday night. And then if time permits, we're going to replay our interview we had with Adrienne Ragsdale talking about the fair parade, which is on Monday.
Yes.
So, and then that's our rundown for today.
Yes, indeed.
Everything situated?
Yeah, it was okay. When you get a preview text,
yes,
and it shows you like the first 3 letters or 3 words, and those 3 words are dead air on KTZA. The rest of the text was from 6:56 to 7:07. Maybe lead with that part first, because I got up like, no, we're not. We're on the air, and I didn't realize we were dead for 10 minutes on KTZA. Our sister station, the Country Giant, or the brand. What the heck was that?
The text. Oh, I'm just getting now the text.
There you go.
There you go. It's I guess my phone was sleeping. It's about a dime short and a day late.
And of course, I was talking about the giant of country radio, which is 92.9 The Brand.
But what else? There's something else I was going to mention. I just completely.
I didn't watch any of the 6-part. Vince McMahon documentary.
So it is a 6-part deal. I was asking Roy yesterday. I was like, is it one documentary or is it like
6 1-hour episodes?
Okay, cool.
And those who know, who are in kind of the story of what the behind the scenes of it all, you don't really get any real massive revelations, except for the fact that for maybe the first time ever, this is Vince McMahon candidly answering questions. Like from the heart. You learn some really interesting things in this, one of which being there was an argument that he betrayed his father, that Vince Jr., when he got the WWF at that point from Vince Sr., Sr. made him promise that he wouldn't betray the territories, that he wouldn't break up the territory system that was professional wrestling in the 80s.
That's exactly what he did.
And that's exactly what he did. But the long-held belief in that sphere was Sr. was disappointed in Vince Jr. for doing that and like looked down on him and said that's what tore their relationship up. Apparently, at some point, and this is probably later, I'm sure after it was a success, actually he says, after it was a success and he saw that it worked, my dad came to me and said, I'm proud of what you did. Basically, screw him. You did what you had to do.
So he basically turned his opinion on it.
Right. And the only time his dad ever said he loved him was the day before he died. It was on his deathbed.
Do you believe it?
I honestly, looking at the way Vince is, I really do.
See, that's the thing, is with him, I'm like, I don't know if it's a work or a shoot, man. I really don't.
The interesting part about this documentary is I think that he was looking for this to be like his magnum opus, his like, this is me, warts and all, and how I came from nothing and built a worldwide corporation. But the other thing is, as soon as like they basically did his first round of interviews, and then a week later, the Wall Street Journal story dropped about Janelle Grant and all the lawsuits and all that.
Right.
And right after that was his resignation and all the other stuff that went into all that.
Now, does this series go into any of that?
It does apparently in like the fourth or fifth episode.
And that's where he is not salty about it,
along with his other controversies. But here's the thing: they never got another interview from him. After all that stuff dropped, he basically canceled all their requests for interviews, all the appointments they had set.
Okay.
He went radio silent. Yeah. So everything we heard from Vince in this documentary is from before all this stuff started.
So
dropping.
in all fairness, they had a series to. I imagine they reached out to try to get his version. He chose not to share that.
Well,
and they got a deadline. They got a thing to produce.
And here's the thing, and it's argued that it's been happening since 2021, but there's a big deal with Netflix and WWE going into January of next year.
Okay.
Like they're moving one of their
the
big
platform
shows. They're moving Raw to Netflix.
That gotta make sense.
So you would think that when Vince went into it, he was like, okay, well, this is going to be like a fluff piece. They're going to softball me questions.
Sure.
Stuff started getting real, and they basically said, we're not going to pull punches. We're going to show everything. Like, they get into the Chris Benoit of it all. They get into the Ring Boy scandal. If you're, like, real in deep with, like, the...
And I did see the clip on the whole Owen Hart stuff.
And how he made the decision to, the show must go on after that.
Yeah, I saw that clip online.
Yeah, with oh, that's a horrible story. With his blood still on the ring, they continued on.
Although, here's the thing, and I need to get the interview going, but real quick, I like I said, I saw that clip. Like I said, I haven't seen either, but I was on X yesterday, and I stumbled upon that one, and then of course when you look at one, you start getting more in the what do you recommend,
right?
And so the guy this guy, I don't know who he is or nothing, but who's basically sharing excerpts from the documentary. I think he's a pro McMahon guy. Because I could tell in his comment, I'm proud. It made me happy to hear him say this, and then I was reading comments, and then on the Owen Hart one, someone that blood remark, someone in the comments said that wasn't even his blood, that was from an earlier match or something. They were really like there were people kind of almost defending the situation, which surprised me.
That's the whole mindset of tragedy plus time equals I don't want to say comedy, but an acceptance and understanding that
and it sounds like the live crowd really. A lot of them may not have realized what happened that night.
That's and he mentions that too because
they were dark when all that really went down, and they saw a guy laying on the thing, and some people were thinking it was a mannequin.
Right?
There was so.
They said most people didn't see what happened. They heard what happened,
and I'm not sure if they were announcing it. They were announcing it on the TV, but were they announcing it to the crowd there too when they were basically saying that he died and all this?
Don't know.
See that part?
I do
I'm not
know
sure.
that they wheeled him out. Like people saw them wheel him out on a stretcher.
Yeah.
Like Jeff Jarrett made his entrance for the literal next match as they were wheeling Owen's body out.
Yeah, that's insane. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out because you know me, I don't care about wrestling, but I love the behind the scenes of that.
Oh yeah, and that's all this is. Is the behind the scenes stuff.
I'm down. So, all right, we need to get the hour going. It's 7:16. Here is your weather. Gonna be a little warmer next few days.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have strong high pressure in place, and that'll hang around through the upcoming weekend, keeping things dry, sunny, and warm. We're in the low 90s and sunshine through the day, down to 60 and clear for the overnight hours. We're expecting low 90s for the high again on Friday and sunny. For Saturday and Sunday, the weather pattern stays sunny and very warm. Afternoon highs both days in the low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 60 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 58%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny and 92 for a high today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 61 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny skies, 93 for a high tomorrow. Winds out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 62 degrees and east winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For the weekend on Saturday, sunny, 91 for a high, north winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Saturday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 56 degrees. Sunday, sunny, highs right around 90. And then day one of the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, Monday, sunny and 94. 86 on Tuesday, back up into the low 90s by Wednesday of next week. All right, it is 7:18. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with James Duffy and Jonathan Dudley talking about livestock shows and the livestock auction at next week's Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Don't go away.
Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel have been celebrating life for over 90 years. Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory celebrates and remembers Donald Burden Sr. passed away September 14th. Rosary will be Saturday, October 5th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Virginia Gibson passed away September 14th. Visitation is Monday, September 23rd, 4 to 7 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Rosary will be Tuesday, September 24th, 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church, with Mass following the Rosary at 10 a.m. at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Letty Lee Bagwell passed away September 15th. Visitation is Saturday, September 28th, 10 a.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Service following visitation at 1 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Elizabeth Stefano passed away September 8th. No services are scheduled at this time. Oturo Ornelas passed away September 16th. Visitation is Sunday, September 22nd from 4 to 9 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Rosary to follow Sunday, September 22nd, 6 to 7 p.m. at Ballard Funeral Home. Kelly Keith passed away September 9th. Graveside service will be Thursday, September 26th, 10 a.m. at McBride Veteran Cemetery. LaGrone Funeral Chapel celebrates and remembers Peter Morris, passed away September 9th. Visitation will be Monday, September 23rd, 10 a.m., with service following the visitation, 11 a.m. at LaGrone Funeral Chapel. John Groover passed away September 11th. No services are scheduled at this time. And Joanne Worthington passed away September 12th. No services are scheduled at this time. This has been today's remembrance, brought to you by Ballard Funeral Home and Crematory and LaGrone Funeral Chapel.
Today we're going to give you the 5th key to a great marriage, taken from Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The 5th key is commitment, living the love you promised.
Galatians 6:9 says, "And let us not get tired of doing what is right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." You know, one of the keys to commitment is just deciding in your heart, I'm never giving up on God, I'm never giving up on my marriage, I'm never giving up on my family.
Commitment is a promise made and kept by two imperfect people. It's good for our kids to see that problems happen and we're committed to solving them together.
If you want all 5 keys to a great marriage, you can go to our website at jomconference.com.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details, 2nd and Sycamore, and 1309 Southeast Main.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits for the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
Yes, fear of beards, in case you're wondering what that was. Good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, talk some Eastern New Mexico State Fair. James Duffy and Jonathan Dudley back with us. Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Great. Good morning.
Good to be here.
Well.
Better doing. Of course, when we see you guys, it's fair time. We know it's time to get ready as we are days away from the 2024 Eastern New Mexico State Fair. I know officially Monday's kind of the start day, but really it's already kind of underway. You know, they'll start bringing in the animals here in a day or two. They'll do the preview here on Friday and everything. So fair's really here. I mean, it's officially Monday, but it's here.
Yeah, if you drive down South Main in the evenings, I mean, the carnival's lit up every night, and I mean, he's letting everybody know he's here.
That's
sure,
right.
So.
That's kind of good advertising. It's kind of like I'm from back Maryland, a lot of soul food, and so a lot of people cook chitlins, and chitlins have a unique smell. I don't know if people know that or not, but when you cook chitlins, people you don't have to advertise you cooking chitlins. Just start cooking them, and they'll know.
They'll come. Huh?
Kind of the same way here. The Carnivalites, they know. They're there.
Kind of like Brussels sprouts.
That's right. But you guys, we're focusing on, obviously, the livestock side of the fair. To be honest, the real reason we have a fair. I mean, we have the rides, we have the food, we have the entertainment, we have all the great stuff going on in the commercial building. But the real reason we have this fair is for these livestock shows and these the different home ec side of shows and things going on out at the fair. It's for the kids. This is what.
Sure enough.
And so I always want people to come out to the fair and ride the rides and eat corn dogs till you puke and do all that good stuff. But please take time to spend some time and watch a livestock show or two. You know, these kids, this is the hard work all the work these kids have been doing during the summer and in the off season, getting these ready for them. This is their Super Bowl. This is the fruits of their labors. They're going to be competing these animals, and some of them hopefully selling their animals here in the junior livestock auction at the end of the fair here. And so if you've never come to these shows, you really see the heart of our people in our county. That's you see the best of New Mexico at the livestock shows. That's where you see it. You see these kids, and it impresses me every time to see these kids. And I know I say this every time on the radio when I talk about this, but it's so impressive to see these kids that are 3 foot tall, 75 pounds soaking wet, and they're handling an 800-pound animal professionally. It is so cool to see that.
Yeah, and we want the public to keep in mind that most of these the shows are during the day throughout the week when the midway and such isn't open. But it's free access. Anybody can come out.
Absolutely, and there are some evening shows
Atkinson. Yep, there's some evening shows, but most of them are
during the
day.
Yeah, so if you got time during the day to come out, and I highly recommend you come out and see these shows. It's so impressive to watch these kids in action. They're and it doesn't matter whether they're showing rabbits, swine, horses, or whatever. It doesn't matter. They're all impressive. And what I like about this too is because they do. I know with the Chavez County Fair they do a lot with pets and stuff too. So even kids that aren't necessarily in farming or ranching get a chance to experience some of this stuff too. So that's a cool side of it.
That's true, and there are a lot of those that really doesn't live on a farm and ranch that come out and participate in the fair and general home economics exhibits. But I'd also like to put a plug in for home gardeners and stuff.
Absolutely.
There is a division out there for home gardeners to bring out some of your produce and show it at the fair and get some premium and ribbon. Get a blue ribbon and put it on your wall.
Plus, it gives you an excuse to go out there and see that stuff and be jealous on why your tomatoes didn't come out like that.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And you got to hit the education building. As important as it is, you spend some time in the livestock building. You need to spend some. You could spend hours easily in the education building looking at all the different art that kids and adults there. Produce. You gotta check out the pumpkin guys. I mean, that's a tradition at the fair. If you ain't seeing big gelatinous pumpkins that look like they
Look like their mold broke or something, and they just spilled out onto the thing.
I haven't heard much about anybody's giant pumpkins this year.
Yeah, nobody's been bragging too much, but everybody, lots of times they lie about that.
I'm about to say, I think
they're big pumpkins. They kind of keep it secret for
light
to the
under
very
the
bitter
basket,
end. Yeah,
They don't want anybody last-minute fertilizer on their own.
Well, and if you don't think they're competitive, think again. These folks.
No,
I mean, it's all in good fun, but it's cutthroat.
Oh yeah, it is competitive.
Well, it's year-long bragging rights.
Absolutely, and so you got to be a part of that. And of course, the model railroaders in there, and you could easily get lost spending watching the trains go by and seeing all they're doing stuff. But that's the real fair to me. What's going on in those two buildings? That's the heart of the fair. That's where. The rides and stuff, yeah, that's the draw. We want you to come out and have a great time, but support our community. Come and see the hard work of our young people and adults.
Well, and it's not just our community. I mean, it's the state of New Mexico. We're statewide, and these kids come from all over.
And Eastern's not even a fair nomenclature either. These kids come from all over the state. It's the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, but I'd like to call it New Mexico State Fair 2.
It is. Well, really, in all actuality, for several years, we've had more entries in the livestock department in the New Mexico State Fair. There's a lot of people who'd rather come to Roswell because it's a little bit more laid back. Everything's a little friendlier and Roswell's a better city than Albuquerque.
I certainly know exactly of which you speak without having to say it.
So,
put it this way, your pickup's going to be there when you get back.
That's right. That's true.
Unless you park somewhere you don't need to, then you can move it.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. But that's a good point. You're probably seeing bigger numbers, and by that better competition because more entries mean closer in competition. And the difference between the best in show and fourth place is minuscule. You know what I mean? It's a fraction of a score here. That's the difference.
And it's true, and it's the judge that determines that, and that's different judges judge different ways.
Absolutely.
And so but they're all great exhibits that we have out there, and there'll be 20-something counties that'll be represented at the Eastern Fair this year out of the 33 counties. So it'll be well represented as far as statewide people coming here statewide.
You're going to see
Farmington, Union County, Southwest New Mexico. All those will be in here.
Well,
so
they'll be
very competitive.
This is where I have a little because I'm not in the where I kind of like they just had the state fair. And they have their junior livestock auction, for winners that sell there.
Yep.
Are there going to be folks that may have competed in that fair that didn't place that will compete here in the hopes of trying to get, will we see some of that too, or will it be all different animals?
Well, the ones that made the sale up there will not be.
Yeah, they sold and they're gone. But the ones that didn't make the sale.
The ones that didn't make the sale, there'll be a lot of those animals that'll be here, plus some other ones. But, they come get a different judge's opinion because there's a different judge. They're going to judge them a little bit different.
Absolutely. So, if they win Best in Show, they've got to put it in the auction. But if they don't, then they get the option of going on to another fair or whatever they're going to do with that animal. So you will see some of that. But in the scope of things, this is their last hurrah, right? There's no more fairs after this fair season. So if they're after this one they compete, they either sell it or whatever.
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
For Kansas City's coming up right after that. Some big major shows. Kansas City, Louisville, which Louisville is probably at the Nile is one of the biggest ones in the country. There'll be.
Imagine the monies and everything's a little bit bigger on those too.
No, not really.
Okay.
They'll only sell like 2 animals out of each species at those big major shows, and so there's not too many of them that go there, but there are a few New Mexico people that go there.
Do they have the same customs and traditions like here? Like when you come out to the junior livestock auction here on Saturday morning? I always get Chavez County Fair's Friday. Eastern Mexico State Fair Saturday morning.
We just don't want to compete against the concerts.
Exactly, yeah. And it's an excuse to get up early and get a good breakfast because y'all feed them well. And if you leave hungry, that's your own damn fault. I'm just saying.
And you'll be fed well again this year also.
Absolutely.
So, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, but like in our tradition at that, we support locals and less. You're going to see some crazy numbers for some of these animals at that auction. Do they do that kind of thing in Kansas too, or some of those, or is that more of a local thing that we do that kind of stuff?
Oh, yes and no. I mean, depending on which one you go to. But
I gotcha. Okay.
Eastern, this community is very supportive of junior livestock sale. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it compared to most everywhere else in the country. It's very supportive. We appreciate all the people coming out and participating. Have you never been to a junior livestock sale? Come out and have breakfast with us on Saturday
It's
morning.
A lot of fun. And you don't have to be, like I said, you're going to see a lot of money flying around. But if you want to support, a lot of people partner up and they each chip in, a couple, whatever, $20, $100 or whatever it is here, and then put it in together. And that's a great way to support these kids too in doing that. So please come out and support them that way. And you're right, they support this way, because they get it. They get what we're dealing with here. This is the future we're dealing with. These are these young men and women that are showing these animals and competing in the fairs. They're the future. They're the ones. They are going to be handed the problem that farmers and ranchers are dealing with today, where we have more people on this planet and less people producing food to get it to them.
Yep.
And it's going to be. They are the ones running the farmers and ranches and stuff. So whatever we can do now to give them the expertise, the knowledge, the support, the help to help them tackle the problems they're going to be dealing with, that's what this junior livestock auction is about. Mm-hmm. That's what this fair is about. I know I'm getting like big picture on people, but at the end of the day, that's why we do what we do out there.
Yeah. The main thing to me is work ethic. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at these kids, they'll be up at 5 o'clock in the morning taking care of animals, get ready, go to school, come back in the evening, do the same thing day after day, all summer long. I mean, it's like a lot of work. I mean, and so that work ethic is the thing that those that really work hard usually do the best.
And
so,
you know what? It rubs off in all aspects of their lives.
Oh, you bet.
That's the thing. And this is something I will tell, every time. As a radio guy, I've been doing radio for 20 plus years. I've spent a lot of time doing radio and things and interviewing a lot of kids, sports kids, FFA, 4-H kids, all of them. And I will tell you, every time I talk to those 4-H and FFA kids, it's yes, ma'am, no, sir, yes, sir. It's very polite, very professional. They give you thoughtful answers. Like they're kids. I get it. Kids are kids. Like, hey, what do you? I like pizza. All right. I talked to one of these farmer and ranching kids that are competing in the fair, and they give thought. I mean, it's just it's so impressive that these kids they appear and conduct themselves much more maturely than a kid of their age usually.
Well,
that's
FFA
what I know.
and 4-H is so much more than just showing animals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's values that are put into these young lives. And
every time I have the 4-H folks on, I always tell people it's like you can have a great experience in 4-H and never touch a cow or a pig or a chicken.
Absolutely.
Or poop.
That's true.
So, there's now if you want that, they got you covered. Oh, farm and ranch, and they're going to get you heavy. But if you want the computers or shooting sports or the home ec side of things or a lot, or even for adults at the extension office, they'll which I call adult 4-H, they can create your own programs and things out there socially, and it's as much a social and educational experience as it is farming and ranching and fun and dealing with cows and horses and pigs and stuff.
Yep.
It's so much more than that. But I want to invite folks, go to the fair website, easternnewmexicostatefair.com. There you can see everything, the entertainment schedule, the fair book. Now, obviously, if you're showing animals or competing in the fair, that's your gospel. That's going to tell you your rules, going to tell you the all-important who they're going to be the judges at the various livestock shows. Because I imagine, like you were talking earlier about judges, and I imagine they're like baseball umpires. You know what I mean? They all have their tendencies, but if you know the umpire, you know how they're going to call the game. So you can plan accordingly. I imagine judges are, this judge generally looks for this, therefore I'm going to enhance that aspect.
Well, there's a lot of these young folks that are showing at this sale that will go on. I mean, I say a lot. Mm-hmm. There'll be a few of them that end up judging somewhere someday doing this if they choose to take that path. And
judges don't become judges by just dropping into the industry. They probably were showing animals and farming and ranching themselves, or probably still doing it.
or raising them, breeding them, and selling them, or something of that nature.
By day, they're not bankers and stuff. They're farmers and ranchers.
Well, and that's one thing about a lot of these kids that's in this program. They're pretty heavily recruited from junior colleges and senior college to judge.
So it's kind of like sports
judge livestock to judge livestock.
Okay.
We have several kids that been very successful on judging teams.
So that's a career path for some of these folks.
Oh, yeah.
I never would have thought of that, but
well, it's just
makes
they have
sense.
scholarships available for them to go and judge them. And there's soils judging, there's livestock judging, horse judging, meats, wool, all of that on the collegiate level.
Yeah.
And some of those kids get pretty nice scholarships to go do that.
I would imagine there's an intense amount of understanding and training to learn all of that. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to do it, but to judge it. You know what I mean? Because you got to. I mean, not only you got to know how to do it, but you got to know all the concepts behind it. You got to. You know what I mean? You got to. Yeah, it's like a musician. You know, sure, anybody can get on a computer nowadays and make a song, but real musicians got to understand how the music's made, how the notes go together, and all that. And a judge, you got to know that too a little bit. You know, that makes sense.
It does. It does.
But please get your fair book. Get that way you can know the schedule. The junior livestock auction is kind of the big climax of the fair weekend for the livestock show side of things. And so Saturday morning we want to get out there and even come watch it if nothing else. It is just an amazing thing to see.
And not just that, but you don't have to be a buyer. I mean, we have add-ons if there's a young child or student that you know from whether it be church or family or soccer, sports, whatever. I mean, all these kids are ingrained in our community in so many different ways.
Yeah,
you can do a $5 add-on, a $10. They all add up. I mean,
the animals are going to be nice because they're all winners. Don't get me wrong, but the auction is about the kid. It's not about the animal.
This is what it funds their future projects and/or college. I mean, there's a lot of seniors that'll be here. I mean, their next step is headed off to college.
That's the thing for your seniors. This is college seed money. Or college money for that. And for your younger, that's the seed for their next project, their next whatever they're going to be doing at next year's fair.
Yep.
Whether it's, we're going to do goats again, or no, we're going to up it to something with a little heavier, whatever they're going to do. And so, and obviously that probably comes into play in their own farm and ranch and what they show and what they do and what they are experienced in and stuff like that. So, but please come, whether you're an experienced rancher and farmer or, your experience on meat is with picking the right steak at the grocery store, whatever that is, please make time to go to the livestock shows. Come during the day. If there's an evening, some do get into the evening. Some of them bigger shows, like certain categories are going to be bigger than others. Like swine generally is going to be there's a lot of usually animals in the swine show. Where some shows they don't quite have as many. When you get into the lambs and some those get into such categories that one show may only have a couple animals, but you say lamb show and you're like, okay, but wait, there's like 60 different types of lamb. Hold on a second. And so it does break down into that. So the shows go a little bit quicker on some of that stuff.
And if there's any community involvement that is unable to make it Saturday, they can always reach out to the fair office. Leslie will get them in touch with one of us in the sale committee or the junior livestock department. We can visit with them to see how we could help them if they want to contribute in some form or fashion.
Again, it's about the kids.
Make it, absolutely.
If you want to help, we'll find a way to make that happen.
We'll find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, whether we got to do something. Because I imagine, do you get like people on the phone, kind of like when you see like auctions on,
on
horse
occasion.
auctions or whatever, there'll be the buyers on the phone and all that kind of stuff. So.
On occasion.
Yeah. So, that's it, but it's a lot of fun. Trust me. And if you've never been to one, you're going to be like blown away because you're like, I can't believe how much money these are going for and all because and once you get it because it's all about these kids. You're seeing these moments where these kids are having their Super Bowl moment, and then they get this large amount of money for an animal that they probably weren't expecting. And I'm not gonna lie. There's always, 1 year there's a kid that maybe had a harder struggle getting through it, or a family that had a struggle, and everyone wants to rally around them, and sometimes we'll boost those dollars to help that family a little bit, and that's what makes this great because it's about family, it's about people, and yes, the animals are part of the background here, but at the end of the day, it's the families, it's these kids.
Well, and there's a lot of times where, yes, you'll see these animals sell for a large amount of money, but in a lot of cases, they may just be getting close to breaking even. That's spend on these animals, and the buyers.
It's not cheap to raise an animal.
No, it's not. They're not fed with just your general.
Right, the feed you feed the crop, you got to get them
to get these animals in the fit and form that they are. They're taken care of in a different manner.
NFL athletes go through a different regime than you or I go through. That's the comparison. These animals are being prepared like they're athletes, and they're going through training and diet and regime like they're an NFL athlete. Where you and I go to McDonald's and maybe see a gym once in a while.
on the way to McDonald's.
Right. That's the difference. And to be honest, the rest of the herd, not that you're feeding McDonald's, but what I mean is you're buying hundreds of pounds of feed at the time, and it's general, like it's like, okay, we got to feed the herd meatloaf, but these guys get the enhanced meatloaf because this, you know what I'm saying? It's a little, it's the same, it's quality food, but theirs has been hyped up a little bit. And you, quite frankly, you couldn't run a farm and ranch feeding your entire crop or entire cache of animals that feed. You'd be really broke really quick.
Well, you're buying a 50-pound bag to feed the show animals, and you're buying semi-trailer loads.
But your steak would look real good.
It's true.
But that's and so and that's where you understand the industry, and that's where I'm I mean, I grew up in D.C. I've been here for a long time, but I wasn't raised on a farm and ranch. My experience is through osmosis, hanging out at the fair, watching, seeing what farmers and ranchers do, and interviewing and talking with them. And I understand the concepts, but I haven't done the day-to-day. And until you do the day-to-day, it's to me, it's a beautiful thing, and that's what we gotta, we could talk science and we could talk future, and all of that's gonna come into play in farming and ranch. It has to get that right. But I'm sorry, this is an industry where we're tried, true, tested, things that your family, your ancestors tried. That's the stuff you're doing on farm and ranches because it's been working for 100 years. And you're like, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here if that works. And that's where the fair, I think, enhances that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you can have the new, and there is a place for some of that. But sometimes when you got a certain weed or certain something come there, and then you're like, then you get the Jim Gill here. Well, go get you one of them. And that to me is farming and ranching. You know what I mean? And that's what the fair's about, and that's what the livestock shows and everything that's going on is about. So come participate the real fabric of what Chavez County and New Mexico is.
Yeah, take a walk through the barns when folks are getting these animals ready to be shown or sold.
Yeah,
it
is really cool
to watch.
And if you do get a chance, like during the day and stuff, or in the prep areas, the staging areas where the kids are cleaning and tending to their animals, they love talking. You go through, talk to the kids, talk to the families, they love sharing their stories and telling you. You're going to get some good ones. Yep. You're going to hear all kinds of great stories from some of these families, and so and I think if you do that, you'll even get a great appreciation of what the fair is all about by doing that. So take some time to do it. By all means, get out there and ride the merry-go-round 500 times and get on that Ferris wheel, and please help out 4-H. Buy as many ice cream cones as humanly possible. But go out there and spend some time in the hay with the animals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I guarantee you're gonna realize how cool the fair actually is. You're gonna you come and you get tired of doing all the rides and all that, but once you see the other side, the side that's the family side, then you're like, wow, this is, now I get it. Now I get why fair is so cool. And so come next week, even if it's only one day, make a point to go see a livestock show at some point during the fair if you've never been to one. See many, but if you only got time for one, then do one. Please do it. I guarantee once you see and understand, it will change your opinion on how cool the fair is and what the how important the fair is. It's something I just wanted, because this is really it. If fairs go away, I mean, I think the food and ranch industry is in trouble. This is the one spotlight we have to remind people your food doesn't come from Walmart or grocery store or whatever. You know what I mean? And so it's that important. But anyway, I got way on a soapbox. We
get on them every once in a while too. So.
Point is, come out to the fair. It's all next week. Like we said, the parade will get officially underway with the fair at 10 a.m. on Monday. As we reminded, just some other general fair stuff here. For the parade, the judges are going to be amongst the crowd this year. They're not going to be all set up in front of the courthouse lawn. So if you're performing or have in the parade, do your performances wherever you want to. There's going to be judges
You're always
everywhere.
being watched.
You're
So
always
there you
being
go.
watched. And then, of course, as soon as the parade is over, the fairgrounds officially open up for the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. Livestock shows will already be underway because I think the first shows actually start on
8 a.m. Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a Saturday show?
No, Saturday's
Okay.
just so all the shows will be Monday through through Thursday.
Okay.
Some sprinkled throughout the day, and then in the evening.
For some reason, in my head, I was thinking there was one early this weekend for some reason, but I don't know. I've slept since then. So, but yeah, they'll start bright and early Monday, and they'll go all week through Friday, and then Saturday, of course, will be the big crescendo here, the Junior Livestock Show. What time? The buyer's breakfast starts about 6?
8.
8 a.m.
Okay.
8. Sale at
Y'all
9.
sleeping in. And then he's like, screw you. We're going to be up at 4 in the morning. But yeah, come in at 8 o'clock for the buyer's breakfast, and then about 9 o'clock we'll get underway with the auctioning off and all that good stuff here.
Yep.
So, and get there early. Come get there for the breakfast because you're going to get up early. You gotta, it's farmers. Farmers eat, and they eat well.
Well, there's gonna be a little special meal this time. We've got some local producers and folks in the ag community and some other friends that are going to come out and cook breakfast.
Nice. So this is straight farm to table
Straight,
type.
that's true. And Leslie Eccles will be supporting the Junior Livestock Breakfast this year, and on Saturday morning. So
big thank you to them.
Big plug for them as
Absolutely.
far as stepping up plate and
that again, that's another aspect of why I love the fair so much, because this is when you get these families, and we get these great families and businesses that support no matter what. Yeah, we're going to support the breakfast. You know what I mean?
There's so many people that come together to make this deal work. So many volunteers.
And the great thing is, they come to you. I mean, yes, you guys do ask and beat the bushes, but people come forth. Hey, how can I help? How can I get involved? And that's what makes this special.
Yeah,
it is a great thing. So please come participate in your way, shape, or form. Whether you're showing or getting out there and competing, or you just want to come and be a spectator and watch some of these, see the fruits of these kids' hard work here and do all that. Either way, it's going to be a good time. And then when you're done that, go ride a ride and go check out the ranch rodeo and all that. And don't sleep on those Friday and Saturday. The ranch rodeo is going to be a lot of fun, and that's all part of your mission into the fair too.
It is.
So when you're done riding rides, just walk on over to the Bob Crosby Arena and go check out. The Friday night will be kind of everyone trying to get into the finals on Saturday, and then Saturday will be the big night for the finals, and the big money will get passed out that night and all that good stuff.
Yep.
But get on out there and support that too. Matter of fact, you probably see some folks that were showing animals earlier might be doing some work in the ranch rodeo later in the week. You never know. But and that in and of itself is pretty cool too, because then again, all those competitors for the most part are farmers and ranchers. A ranch rodeo is a little different than like your bull riding rodeos or something. This is a rodeo that shows the day-to-day of what farm and ranch life. They compete in categories like wild cow milking and trailer loading and things like that. It's amazing to watch if you've never seen it.
No, it's a lot of fun to watch.
But it's categories that are a little different than see how long you can stay on a bull or on a horse. Kind of thing.
And they will have some wrecks doing that.
Oh
stuff
yeah,
too. It's
if you're looking for if you love that side of it, you'll have your share. Don't worry. Some people will go flying.
That is true.
But it is a lot of fun to watch, and again, those people you'll see them Friday or Saturday night doing that, and on a Tuesday they're on a farm and ranch somewhere doing the same thing.
Yep.
Not being timed for it, of course, but doing it nonetheless. Mm-hmm. Good deal. Is there anything we wanted to share that I just spaced on or didn't get a chance to talk about?
Well, I think you covered almost everything.
As
far as but no, we do encourage everyone to come out. Really,
have fun.
You don't have to spend money to come out and watch those shows.
No,
because most of them are free when you come out there early enough. So come out and watch. If you have questions, there's plenty of people out there that'll answer your questions.
Absolutely,
for you.
yeah.
All you got to do is ask, and you'll be probably get well informed.
Absolutely. I also want to do the quick safety thing real quick. Every time I talk with fair folks, I want to remind folks that the Eastern Mexico State Fair has a great protocol and procedures whenever there's children or a lost child on, and I guarantee it's going to happen every fair. There's at least one time where we gotta go into protocols for do that. But what happens is they generally shut down the fair. No one goes in, goes out, and they do drop what they're doing and they do a search for a lost child. It's going to happen every time at a fair. It just does. But a couple things that you can be proactive on to help either prevent this, or if it does happen, speed up that process. We all got smartphones now. We all carry these in some way, shape, or form. Take a picture of your kid or kids right before you go into the fair, wearing the clothes they're wearing right now, whether they're wearing their Iron Man t-shirts or whatever they're wearing. Take a picture of them as they are at the fair, and then have that on your phone. Hopefully you don't need it. You can throw it up on Facebook later and say, here's my kid at the fair. But if your child gets lost, that way you can show authorities, this is my child, this is what they're wearing, and that speeds up the process. I always also say, pro tip, is you go as a family and you do get separated, pick a landmark. Whatever it is, a merry-go-round, the livestock show ring, the 4-H ice cream building, whatever it is, as a family, say, if we get separated, let's all agree to meet here. And then execute that. And that'll avoid, and that, just a couple tips I like to hand people to go to the fair, because it's easy to do. You get in the commercial building on a day when it's really busy and somebody stops looking at one booth and the kid keeps going, and next thing you know, where's Johnny? Where's Sue? And it happens very easily. So if it does, that's a couple things that'll help speed that up and make that process a little easier. But rest assured, the fair staff is, of course, they've been doing this for years. They're very good at it now. They've got it down to a science that they can, and 9 times out of 10, lost children are found within 5-10 minutes of it being reported. So it's very good. But if you do that, that does help a little bit. If you have a picture of your child wearing what they're wearing, they're at the fair, that makes it so much easier for folks to look for, because now that instead of looking for a little 3-footer, they can look for a 3-footer in a green shirt or blue. It makes it a little bit easier. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much. I'm sure you got a few fires to stomp out.
Appreciate you letting us get on the platform and advertise what we're doing.
Anytime. This is good stuff. This is what makes our community great, is this fair and what it is, and it showcases the best of what New Mexico has, and you're going to see it on display next week. So come see it for yourself. So.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
All right, 8:52. Let's pause for some news and a red market report and a couple commercials to pay for lunch. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now, police said during the operation, it's a proactive measure in an attempt to apprehend individuals with outstanding warrants. Individuals with outstanding warrants are encouraged to address the matters voluntarily and contact law enforcement or appropriate courts to which the warrant was issued. Artesia Community Development Director Byron Landfair gave City Council members an update on water testing this week. The testing, he said, was done for so-called THPs, a byproduct of chlorine. He said all of the tests showed results well below the non-detect level. Landfair also mentioned the indoor pool at the Artesia Aquatic Center is closed because a retractable obstacle course is being installed. The course will use up to 3 lanes of the pool. It will hang above the pool and be lowered down when needed. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Back in the day, if you wanted to make music, you had to sit at a piano or pick up a guitar. Not anymore. I'm Kim Commando, America's Digital Pro. Today, all you need is artificial intelligence. It's as simple as typing in a few words and you've got a song. A few AI tools worth trying. First up, Suno.com. Type in the kind of song that you want. For example, I'd like a nice jazz tune to give to the love of my life. Next, there's Music FX. No lyrics this time, but if you need something quick for a YouTube video or background track, it's perfect. Now, my personal favorite is Refusion. Just upload a photo, in my case an owl, by my pool, write a line about it, and out pops a song. Upbeat, shred, groove, twang, or whatever you like. Here, take a listen.
I saw an owl on the beach of my pool last night. Water, gleaming eyes beaming. Who knew night swimming could be so right?
Fun, right? Hey, there's still time to enter to win a brand new iPhone 16 at winfromkim.com. Are you the one who always has the latest scoop on tech? I'm talking about the go-to person in your circle for all things digital. Well, make that dream a reality with my free daily newsletter at getkim.com. Join over 500,000 curious minds who start their day with the best in tech news, pop culture, critical security alerts, and savvy device advice. And that's not all. Get smart tips that'll have your friends asking, hey, how did you know that? All this knowledge packed into a quick 5-minute read. Absolutely 100% free. Yeah, you heard that right. And the best part, you're in control. Unsubscribe anytime, no strings attached. But I have a feeling you're going to want to stay in the know. So what are you waiting for? Sign up right now at getkim.com. That's getkim.com. Your daily dose of tech know-how is just a click away. Sign up for my free daily newsletter today and take the first step into a smarter, tech-savvy you. That address to sign up again? GetKim.com. That's GetKim.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's catch you up on some small school volleyball results over the past week. Dexter is now 11-1 on the season after defeating Eunice Tuesday in a 3-0 sweep. Eunice is 4-7. Dexter got 12 kills from senior Alexa Miramontes in the victory. They'll play at Capitan next Tuesday. Capitan was the foe for Hagerman on Tuesday, a couple days ago, and the Bobcats win, but narrowly 3-2. It was 15-12 in the fifth set. Hagerman is 3-4 on the season. NMMI is 7-4 after sweeping Mescalero 3-0. Sarah Pires, a senior for the Colts, 12 kills in that match. They'll play at Hondo next Tuesday at 5. Gateway Christian is 6-1 after beating Tatum, and Lake Arthur is 7-2. They lost narrowly to Hondo on Tuesday 3-2. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett. Meta has unveiled updates to the company's virtual reality headset and Ray-Ban smart glasses, along as it tries to demonstrate its artificial intelligence prowess and the next generation of computing platforms beyond smartphones and computers. CEO Mark Zuckerberg also showed off Orion, a prototype for holographic augmented reality glasses he called the most advanced glasses the world has ever seen. U.S. stocks edged back from their records as the financial markets around the world took a pause following big recent moves. The S&P 500 fell 0.2% Wednesday, a day after setting its latest all-time high. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 0.7%, and the Nasdaq Composite edged up by less than 0.1%. Treasury yields ticked higher in the bond market after sinking the day before on a surprisingly weak update on consumer confidence. Chinese stocks rose again after soaring Tuesday on excitement about new stimulus measures. Oil prices gave back gains. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett in Washington.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Are you ready to succeed? The health education programs at ENMU Roswell can set you up for success with a wide variety of courses such as emergency medical services, fire science, medical assisting, nursing, and respiratory therapy. ENMU Roswell can prepare you for a rewarding career in the healthcare industry. ENMUR stacks courses in order to get the student into a job as quickly as possible while creating a pathway for more advanced certifications, licenses, and degrees. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll play our interview with John from Roswell Seed next hour. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Hurricane Helene has its sights set on Florida, gaining strength, moving across the Gulf of Mexico. Could be a Category 4 when it blows ashore this evening in the Big Bend region, but it's causing concern far down the coast. Roger Schulman, the Town Hall News affiliate WGUL Radio in Tampa.
The main concern in Pinellas County, which is a county of over 1 million people in the Tampa Bay area, is storm surge. We're expecting much more water than we've had in the past hurricanes that have passed us by.
Forecasters also warning of damaging winds, rains, and flash flooding hundreds of miles inland across much of the southeast. New York City Mayor Eric Adams insisting he is innocent. The Democrat responding to reports of his indictment on federal corruption charges.
If I'm charged, I will request an immediate trial
so the New Yorkers can hear the truth. New Yorkers know my story. They know where I come from. I have been fighting injustice my entire life. That fight has continued as your mayor.
The indictment expected to be unsealed today. Early this morning, federal agents raided the mayor's official residence, Gracie Mansion. They seized his phone. And the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York says it plans to announce significant public corruption charges without providing any more specifics at this time. The U.S. and France leading a 12-nation call for a truce in southern Lebanon. The Israeli army chief, though, says the military is preparing for a possible ground operation in Lebanon. The Commerce Department reports the economy grew at a healthy 3% annual pace April through June, boosted by strong consumer spending as well as business investment. On Wall Street, stocks sharply higher. The Dow is up 264 points. The Nasdaq Composite Index ahead 187 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
33. A Japanese court has ruled an 88-year-old man not guilty in a retrial of a 1966 quadruple murder case. This after the man spent decades on death row.
Iwao Hakamada was widely expected to be acquitted. For 56 years, the former professional boxer has maintained his innocence after being found guilty in 1968 of killing his boss, the man's wife, and their 2 teenage children. Mr. Hakamada spent nearly half a century behind bars, mostly in solitary confinement, before new evidence led to his release from incarceration in 2014. He was granted a retrial in 2023 after a court decided that investigators could have planted the evidence. Mr. Hakamada's supporters say decades of detention with the ever-present threat of execution took a heavy toll on his mental health.
That's BBC Shama Halil. South Korean intelligence says North Korea has likely enriched enough uranium to build a double-digit number of nuclear bombs. News and analysis, townhall.com. Well, the government Weight Watchers out with a new report that concludes too many Americans are too heavy.
Researchers say obesity is holding steady in the U.S., with about 40% of Americans obese and 1 in 10 severely obese. The overall rate has not changed in the past decade, even as the rate of severe obesity is increasing. Obesity often linked to dozens of health problems. Experts say preventing obesity is critical and should start in early childhood. Jason Walker reporting.
Police say the 20-year-old man who tossed an explosive device into the Santa Maria, California courthouse was there to be arraigned on a gun charge. 5 people suffered minor injuries. The suspect's under arrest. Police say they nabbed him as he tried to get away in a vehicle. They say he was wearing body armor at the time of the arrest, facing attempted murder and explosives charges. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. You know, I'm going to start out the hour talking about food because it just hit me right before it went on, and it's the second time I've seen it, and now it's confirmed I do want it.
Okay.
It's clickbait, just like anything else when you get on social media.
Sure.
But somebody has a picture, and he calls it deviled egg hot dog. And I saw it the first time, and I'm like, interesting. I saw it the second time, I'm like, I want one.
But
it's a hot dog.
Right.
In essence, now, I think they make deviled eggs and then mash it into what would be an egg salad. And then put it on the hot dog.
See, that's... I don't know, man. No, I don't need a picture. I can imagine. Yeah, that's pretty much what I imagined.
I would tear that up.
I would take a bite. I would try it.
I would tear that up.
Respectfully, I would try it. Egg salad is not my... I really do think... And
I'm an egg salad fan.
Here's the thing. I've thought about this. I don't know why I've thought about this. Actually, I do know because I've listened to a lot of East Coast radio. And it seems like stuff that's huge over there, it's... and I think a lot of it is access to things. But like egg salad and tuna.
Yeah.
Tuna fish is another huge thing on the East Coast.
It is.
In that whole coastal
I
region.
like tuna. I'm not all on tuna like people are on tuna. Every once in a while I'll be like, you know what? I'd go for a tuna fish sandwich.
I mean, it's all right.
Yeah.
I've never legitimately had a craving for a tuna fish sandwich. But the same thing goes with egg salad.
Yeah.
The only exception to that, the only time I've ever seen an egg salad sandwich where I'm like, I'd give that a go. And I don't know why this is. But for some reason, 7-Elevens in Japan are amazing.
Have you been to a 7-Eleven?
No. I just watched a lot of like online content about 7-Elevens in Japan.
Okay.
They have like foods that are like gourmet here. They have like different kinds of salads. They have all kinds of, but like specifically they have like a deli section and they make these, it's like an egg salad sandwich. So you get a good dollop of egg salad on, it's like that Japanese milk bread, which is like super thick.
Okay.
Like Texas toast on steroids.
Okay.
And it's also like sweet, supposedly sweet or whatever. But they do that and they make these amazing looking sandwiches and they're like that thick, cut in half. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only time I've ever seen an egg salad sandwich where I'm like, all right, I could devour that.
Okay. When you go to the gas station or the convenience store or Walmart and they have those little triangle sandwiches and they have the egg salad one, if it's there and the date's good, I'm grabbing it every single time. Every single time.
The phrase gas station egg salad sandwich is the thing that stops me from eating a gas station egg salad sandwich.
Well, first off, I was in the United States military.
You're right.
So my stomach's built different
I understand.
sometimes.
Yeah. You had to consume items that were labeled drink.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen things.
Your menus were types, not like actual like menus.
Yeah. Now those eggs, no. But egg salad, oh my goodness. I love it. I gotta be honest. If you look at like the sandwiches, tuna salad, chicken salad, egg salad. I'll throw ham salad in there too. I'll throw that in there. But of that, we'll call it Mount Rushmore of those sandwiches. Egg salad is my one seat.
That's a rough Mount Rushmore. It's a very slippery Mount Rushmore.
But I would put egg salad as my number one seat of those sandwiches.
And so it's egg salad, tuna salad, ham salad, you said?
And chicken salad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, of those, I'd say probably chicken salad and then egg salad.
Well, that's the safer. Most people. And I'm good with chicken salad until they start putting grapes and stuff in it. Then I'm like, get that out of my salad.
Yeah, Arby's got a little weird with that for a while where they're like, why was there like carrots and like mung beans in this?
Yeah. It's like, no. But Yeah, I'm a huge egg salad guy.
I have.
Love it.
I don't know, man. You know what it is? I'll tell you. I don't like hard whites.
Really?
That sounds racist, but I don't like a
That's
hard.
usually the favorite part of a hard-boiled
I
egg
love
for
an
most
egg
people.
white. I like an egg white,
Yeah.
but I don't like it. Like when I'm eating a deviled egg,
It's too al dente for you.
not even that. When I'm eating a deviled egg, especially one that I get from like a gas station, if you ever get like the ones that are prepackaged.
Oh, see, now that's the thing. I don't eat deviled eggs unless somebody made them.
Right.
I've never bought a store-bought
But
deviled egg.
have you ever
and
had like a
enjoyed it.
store-bought hard-boiled egg? That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. is
maybe
that,
once.
That kind of like manufactured,
Yeah, maybe
boiled.
once.
It's the white is just I don't.
See,
it's off-putting.
But
you know?
see, when you get it, when someone makes your deviled eggs,
Mhm.
you don't get that. You get a your normal hard-boiled egg at home.
Yeah, to a point.
It hasn't sat in a storage facility for a week and
Well,
then
and
shipped here and then however long.
That's what kind of also throws me about deviled eggs
Mhm.
is I've known and watched the process of how those are made, and that is a lot of exposure to just room temperature air.
I make deviled eggs.
I know. Not to
That's what I'm
mention,
in charge of.
Not
at
to mention,
Thanksgiving.
they're usually in potluck form on like a table, and they've sat for like 3 hours.
Well, okay.
The ones that throw me are people who will, after all of that, after it
Yeah.
sits. Now we're talking about Thanksgiving. After it's sat on a Thanksgiving table for all day through the game and all night and all
Yeah.
that, it gets put up, and someone eats a deviled egg like a day or two later.
Mm-hmm.
That's what throws me off. I'm like, what are you doing?
Me.
I know. I've seen you do it. That's like, what are you doing to your body?
I like to live dangerously.
Apparently.
No, I just
flying a little close
I
to
just
the
love
sun.
deviled eggs, man.
Yeah.
I love them. They are delicious
Do you ever think
treats.
maybe you just like relish and mustard and paprika?
I like it in an egg with the yolk.
Because you could just have those on a spoon.
By the way, my recipe is way simpler.
Is it?
Yeah, it's egg yolk, Thousand Island dressing.
Okay.
Mix that together.
But see that Thousand Island has a little bit of a bite to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I put paprika and stuff on the end,
Okay.
but in the mixing of the yeller.
But what about the crunch?
The crunch?
Yeah.
Don't
you like a nice crunch in your deviled egg? That's where the relish comes in because you get that
and there's
pickle
a
every now
little
and
bit
again.
in Thousand Island.
There's like a piece or two.
Well, it's you
gotta
I'm good.
supplement that.
I'm good without it.
Now I'll tell you.
I mean, if you throw bacon and stuff on there, I'm all about it. But for me, I less is more.
This is where I contradict myself.
Mm-hmm.
There was one time that deviled eggs were made that they were the best deviled eggs I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
They used chow chow.
See, and I got some now. Maybe I should try it.
You really should. It's
Yeah.
like the best relish ever.
Okay.
So yeah, I would recommend that because
Yeah.
it's again like I'm mouthwatering now thinking about it. It's a game changer as far as like adding extra zing to something.
And I picked some up in Cloudcroft, so
There you go.
we got to give her a dance.
Or go Korean with it and throw in some kimchi. I mean,
No, because well, I tolerate kimchi. I don't enjoy it.
oh, I love kimchi.
I don't enjoy it. I tolerate it. If it's in a Korean dish, that's the meal. All right.
Oh, just out of the straight out of the packet for some quick pick me up. You know,
I just don't.
that's how I live.
I've just heard too many horror stories about kimchi to like it that much.
See, and I guess I haven't. I like fermented vegetables
Yeah.
in general. I like that's the sting, like the zing of it all.
Yeah.
So I'm weird though.
All I know is everybody that I know that's been deployed to South Korea, when military, and that, I probably would have gone if I re-upped, but they say that like they eat so much that the whole place smells like kimchi.
And I think about that story
it
that you
oozes out of their pores.
I think about that story every time I eat kimchi.
Yeah.
But I just don't care. It's awesome. Yeah. Fantastic on a hot dog.
Yeah.
Since we were talking about hot dogs to start this whole thing off, yeah, fantastic on a hot dog.
Yeah. It's just it invokes an environment I don't want to be in. All right, it is 8:15. Probably should get the hour going here. We're gonna replay our interview we had with John Noble from Roswell Seed.
A weird variant.
Yeah.
Crystal.
She was under the
Lewis.
weather on Monday.
Yes. Well,
it was post.
She was recovering, is what it was.
Humane Society event there on which.
You got to update your background, by the way.
I need to get on that.
By the way, I gotta say that just real quick. Clay Foley is a real, and pun intended, a real stand-up guy. He posted up on Facebook just a couple of days ago about how welcome he felt and the basket that was left for in his hotel room, and how they had a vegan meal prepared for him, and just all the cool things that the Humane Society did, and thanking us again for an awesome experience. I've been through his social. You don't see a lot of that, so I'm guessing this was a step up from what he usually experiences.
Oh, that's awesome.
But he also reached out to me, and we had a chance to kind of chit chat a little bit. And just a great dude. I mean, he's everything that he purports to be. He's just a great dude.
Well, I'm glad. It sounds like he had a positive experience here as well, which
I really hope we can get
bodes
it back
well for perhaps a return visit.
For sure.
Yeah, good deal. Maybe go even bigger. For a comedy night, a festival with multiple comedies.
Yeah, do a whole comedy night. Now that we know what we're in store for with Clay Foley's act,
we can get him maybe headlining and get. Yourself is wanting to get back up there, maybe a couple other locals that want to do it.
Yeah, I'd say within a year I could probably work another 10 minutes more.
I'm not putting you on the spot, but it's like if you want to, go,
Well, and that's the thing is, it's funny. There was a couple of bits. I still have my notebook in the car. There was a couple of bits that I had written, if time needed, do this bit, go into this bit. So I had like 3 or 4 in the bank. So
well, and people don't realize it's when it comes to stand-up comedy, it's not even what you say, it's how you say it.
Right.
And so you could write it in notes and read it verbatim, and it'll be awful. But if you put the right accents on the right area, the right pause in the right area, the right inflection, that goes from a mediocre story to, wow, that was memorable, and I was my teeth were out. That's what makes a comedian a comedian. And everyone else just people that want to be comedians.
Yeah, and you pick up little nuances along the way.
Absolutely.
There's one guy
it's a big craft, a big talent.
It really is. It takes some time. So I take my hand off, as Mike Tyson used to say, to Clay Foley for
and
the
yourself,
art form.
because you did a great job. And like you said, it is everybody that thinks they can do it, get your butt up there and try it. And I guarantee you will find it harder than you imagine.
Especially when you have the host interrupting you mid punchline to pull some raffle tickets.
That's what she. Hold on.
Like there's a flow to it,
right?
It's fine. Everything's fine.
All right, 8:18. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have strong high pressure in place, and that'll hang around through the upcoming weekend, keeping things dry, sunny, and warm. We're in the low 90s and sunshine through the day, down to 60 and clear for the overnight hours. We're expecting low 90s for the high again on Friday and sunny. For Saturday and Sunday, the weather pattern stays sunny and very warm. Afternoon highs both days in the low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 64 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 54%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny skies today. Expect a high of 92 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear tonight. Looking at an overnight low of 61 degrees with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, a little bit warmer, 93 tomorrow. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear. Expect an overnight low of 62 degrees with east winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Looking at the weekend on Saturday, sunny and 91. Winds out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. Sunny on Sunday as well. Expect highs right around 90. And then warm on Monday, day one, parade and everything for the Eastern Mexico State Fair. Sunny and 94 there. And then drop down into the mid-80s on Tuesday. So that'll be refreshing. All right, 8:19. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with John Noble from Roswell Seed on the other side. Don't go away.
What? My trade's got to be worth more than this. Hey, Roswell and surrounding areas. Don't get hit hard by low trade offers. Right now, the all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade. That means you'll get top dollar for your trade. Stuck in your loan or lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. So you can drive a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. For a limited time, get 0% APR or no payments till 2025. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality, pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand financed on select models. No payments till 2025. Subject to lender approval through Ford credit. Offers not combined.
The Eastern New Mexico State Fair is back September 30th through October 5th at the fairgrounds in Roswell. A whole week of awesome animals, amazing food, and some of the best entertainment in the whole galaxy. It all kicks off with Wright's Carnival's sneak peek Friday the 27th from 4 to 11 p.m. and Saturday the 28th from noon to 11 p.m. The parade is Monday at 10 a.m. down Main Street and gates open for the fair at noon. Tuesday is Ride 'em Cowboy Day with admission and an all-day ride pass for just $25. Wednesday is Senior Day and Dollar Ride Day. Thursday is Canned Food Night, where 2 cans of food get you a wristband for just $25. Then don't miss the Pecos Valley Ranch Rodeo Friday and Saturday at 6 p.m. Plus, parking and concerts are free with your paid admission to the fair. Log on to enmsf.com to learn more. The 2024 Eastern New Mexico State Fair, September 30th through October 5th at the fairgrounds in Roswell. Ad paid for by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
Round up your family and friends and join the Artesia Arts Council Red Dirt Fun Run during the Red Dirt Black Gold Festival on Saturday, September 28th in downtown Artesia. The Western-inspired 5K run invites participants of all ages to dress in their finest cowboy and cowgirl attire. Whether you're trotting along with a stick pony or racing in a rodeo queen costume, a morning full of fun and music is guaranteed. A foam machine will be on site for pre- and post-run fun. Participants will get a free t-shirt and breakfast burrito from Lucky Duck Grill. For tickets, visit artesiaartscouncil.com or call 575-746-4212 for more information. The Red Dirt Fun Run, Saturday, September 28th, 8 to 10 a.m. in downtown Artesia. Paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, John Noble, all by himself
All by
today.
myself today.
From Roswell Seed Company. Good morning, John.
Good morning. Good morning. Anything's possible today.
That's right.
There we go. Unsupervised.
The cat's away, the mice will play.
That's
so
right,
to
yeah.
speak.
Burned
Of
down
course,
some-
she's like me, feeling a little under weather this morning.
Yeah,
so,
she's got this cold. Or
it's going around.
something.
Apparently.
Yeah.
My wife had it. Matter of fact, that's what we rolled out right at the end there because my wife was not feeling good. So,
Oh, Saturday?
So,
Yeah.
So as soon as Clay wrapped up, Kim and I kind of ducked out.
Ducked out.
But
Yeah.
it was a fun night Friday night. And,
It was good. It was a really good turnout. Everything sold. Everything. All the silent auction stuff. We had a couple of people. One woman bought like five of the baskets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Got some Christmas. She got all her Christmas shopping
Evidently,
done.
yeah. That's what I was laughing. I was all like, "Yeah, she got done quick," you know.
Yeah.
And then, one of the paintings I ended up selling to a lady out in the parking lot
Ooh, wow.
after the venue. I was all like, "Man, I'm out here." Yeah,
It's a unique way to get a Greg Birch.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my gosh," you know, it's like, you know, I'm out here selling a painting in the parking lot.
Deal. But money was raised for the Humane Society.
Yeah.
I think everyone had a good time. Hopefully Liberty made some good money on eats and drinks. Looks like people were eating and drinking.
Yeah.
And, I had some nachos really good there.
Yeah, I had the nachos and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
mean, really, really good food.
Food was great.
You know, I've only been to Liberty one other time.
And this is the first time I've been since they've gone non-member.
Right.
And
That's-
so
yeah.
it's different because I think they do food in the, like they used to not have a kitchen in there, and so I think Pecos Flavors would do the food and they bring it over.
Oh, okay.
But now they've got a kitchen in there, and so now they can do the food right in house and
That
everything
the
else.
guy who's doing the cooking back there, he's he's pretty cool.
Yeah,
you
great
know.
job.
I mean, Clay was the comedian. He's a vegan.
Yes.
And so they didn't have no vegan food. You know, like I was telling them, I'm all like, dude, you realize where you're at, right?
Yeah.
Roswell, New Mexico.
We put some on a green chili.
Yeah, he was all like, okay. And the chef, he ran out and made him, I think it was a carrot taco.
That's
with
what he
green
said
chili
on
or
the-
something.
yeah.
And he was all like, dude, he's like, that was amazing. He was like, I was all like, welcome to Roswell.
Right?
I mean, it's kind of like, what do you say to that?
We
you know?
Mexican food, we just replaced the meat with the veggies.
Yeah.
I guess.
So, but he had a really good time. He thanked everybody and was just all like, "Hey, thanks."
It was great.
You know?
It was funny, and
Yeah.
and I think he was going to Midland or Odessa. Or
Yeah, he
something
was going
next
to
night.
Midland. I think
Yeah.
to the VFW. I was all like, "Good luck." He was all like, really? I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You're going up there where they say you got a pretty mouth, boy. Type of place to watch out.
I'll say there's not a lot of vegans hanging out at VFW.
Yeah, I
halls.
don't think
Just to
so.
say.
Yeah, I bet you he's drinking a lot of water.
Just saying, not a lot of vegans in VFW
Yeah.
halls.
Yeah. They'll probably be like, "You want what? Well, you can go out there and graze with the cows if you want. Go out there and chew on that."
It's like we could pull the hot dog off if you want, just be cheese and bread.
Yeah.
No, it's vegan.
Yeah. Oh my God. Somebody told me a long time ago that vegan is Indian for bad hunter.
That's right. I've heard that similar too. That's an old Navajo word for bad hunter.
Bad hunter, yeah. Oh my God.
But,
funny.
But yeah, I'm glad that everyone. Thank you to everyone that came out and bid and had a good time. And this all the money generated is going to go back and help those animals back at the shelter. So it's a good.
And they're kind of talking about maybe doing something else.
Okay.
With the Liberty. We were kind of just all laughing and joking around because after the show, everybody left. There was just a couple of us, and we were just kind of helping out.
Monday
and
morning
stuff.
quarterback.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
And we were talking about like maybe a Humane Society karaoke night.
Yeah.
Or some. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that actually goes on there, but I'm kind of out of touch with all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right, I'm the world's worst. I get in my truck, I put my music on that's on my phone.
Yeah.
So I don't listen to local radio. So I don't hear any of that stuff really. So, and I was talking, I forgot what the lady's name is who takes care of all that. And she was just all like, yeah, because we were looking at the posters in there. It's like, holy cow, they got that. Oh, wow. They got comedy nights. They got all this. They got all. And so I was telling her, I was all like, well, bring some flyers down to the shop. If you need to advertise, put it up in the window. We always helping out. And she's like, oh, I'll do that. So I'm like, okay, now at least I know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, now I know.
I know now.
I'll just look at my window and see what's on there.
I can read backwards really well. So hopefully we get some more stuff kind of going on about that. And getting more people involved from the community.
Absolutely.
And believe it or not, I mean those prizes that she got. I mean, I can't say enough about Roswell local business. I mean, they completely stepped up.
A lot of people got prizes on Friday because there's so
yeah.
many donations and so many great things. Yeah.
The big, Texas Roadhouse, they stepped up huge.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like the local businesses, just blew it like out of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, Bullock's Jewelry, Martin's,
Wakefield.
Wakefield. They did a bunch
that
of
was
stuff.
One of our door prizes. I know they helped out.
Yeah.
I got an oil change coming.
You got an oil change coming. The guys down at Hangar 209, they stepped up. A lot of people just here, and we were thinking, because I was telling Crystal, I was like, well, you go down there, get what she just came into our store and was all like, we're going to do this, buy. It's like, yeah, whatever, get out of here.
Right.
You're
the husband. You just say yes.
Yeah. But like I told her, I said, times are tough. Don't be, you're not getting a car or something like that type of a deal. But, she goes walking into some of these places and they're just, here, just take this. And she's looking down there going, hey, that's pretty expensive. Yeah, go ahead, take it. It's for a local. Yeah, just take it. Yeah, we got you covered.
Well, and there are a certain sect of people, and I probably am one of those people, that they will give you the shirt off your back for animals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And not that I dislike people. I just, like, in my mind, I'm like, well, people kind of put themselves in things and stuff, and I'm not saying it to help people, but I'm kind of like whereas animals, they're literally in these situations because some idiot did something stupid.
Right, exactly.
It's not their fault, and so I'm always like more willing to support that.
Well, and then, I mean, too, there's such a fine line with that, too. I mean, like how many people take advantage, of a situation, of people who are actually homeless and hungry. They're not getting that stuff because the people that they've talked to have been burned by somebody prior to that.
Absolutely.
It's kind of an unfair deal.
Absolutely.
At the store, we always try to help out teachers, and stuff like that. They're coming, hey, we're going to do the school projects. Like, hey, great. Cool, we'll help you out completely. Generally, sometimes we give away seed, or we give them a huge discount because that's coming out of their pocket.
Sure. As a wife of a teacher, I know exactly. We pay for that out of our own. Our own. I've bought many of folders and many of all that stuff.
Tote boxes and stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy. And you just saw like, wow, So on that aspect, we ain't gonna help out no farmers because you guys got money. Shut up. But I mean, other than that, But with you look at different aspects of Roswell, but the business community, it doesn't matter kind of what aspect it is. It's all very, very tight knit, but it's not shown. Not until you do something like this that you realize, holy crap, these people are really opening. They're coming through. I mean, it's not like I can't say any businesses. It wasn't a local business. It was a big box business. But they went over and took something off the clearance aisle. Here you go. And I'm like, okay, I understand. They still gave something. Don't get me wrong,
but it's not as impactful on their bottom line as it is when mom and pop business donates a couple $100.
Yeah,
worth of something
when you got jewelry store that's donating $450 necklace set, versus a $2.98 lawn ornament. Ooh, I mean, don't get me wrong, the lady liked it, and I'm like, we could have went to whatever. I didn't say nothing, But I mean, the turnout, Greg, the 2 paintings that he did.
He donated 2 of his paintings. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of money out of his pocket. And that was his time. And he just did it. He was only supposed to do 1, but he was like,
he's
I was
an
bored,
overachiever.
so I did 2. And I'm like, you got bored, so you painted another painting?
Well, I hope
people
got to meet Greg when he was out Friday night out at the event there. So
I don't know if he met. He might have met him. I don't know.
Okay.
But
he was there. I remember.
Yeah, he was there.
Talking with Greg and
he,
everything.
He come walking by.
He was sitting at the table next to us.
Yeah.
At the show there. So
I mean, really cool guy. God, he's so just what he does is just amazing. And he just kind of, and I'm like, God, I wish I had some of that kind of time. Where I could come up with something cool. My time is like, how do I get out of trouble?
Artist brains work different than our brains.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm sure there's like the artist brain. There's things that they wish they could do that people that like us that don't necessarily have that creative side that can kind of or that gene,
do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always we all just got a different deck of cards, man.
Yeah,
it's all
that's
a
it.
different hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Mine's more kind of like on like Uno versus a real deck of cards. So.
Well, and it's life, if you don't get exposed to it and you get to, and then like, but then again, if you spend time your whole life on a farm and a ranch or military or, you know what I mean? It's always about getting the mission or the job done.
Yeah.
And things that don't seem part of that seem less important.
Right.
And
that's a good way to put it.
And artists and stuff remind us that we're wrong on that.
Sometimes. Yeah. They encapsulate kind of everything, and they can put it to canvas with either pencil, pen, paint, or whatever, sculpturing and stuff. And you're just kind of looking at it going, whoa, how did you, where do you come up with this stuff? And it's like, a picture of it came into my head. And I'm like, you can remember stuff like I can have a picture in my head. It's gone in like 2.3 seconds. The squirrel moments run strong with me.
Sure.
So yeah,
but then again, it's just different. Like I imagine if you get into something with the seeds or whatever, and then next thing you know, we're looking at everyone like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's just what you're into.
Yeah.
So. But that being said, and this is something, the point you're talking about, bomb and pop and business and get involved, and this is something that, since we're talking Roswell Seed here, is really Roswell Seed, yes, the experience and the trial and error and all the testing and providing good customers support for 100 plus years is the reason why they've been around for 100 plus years. But it's also that other side in which you're talking about. Donating for the kids' classroom, supporting the soccer team, supporting the cheerleader, supporting the whatever it is. Roswell Seed has always been in the fabric of the community in one shape or form. Jim Gill has always been involved in kids and schools and pets, and he always had. Now he probably had a few tentpole charities that were his more favorites, but Roswell Seed has been a part of the community pretty much since day one. It opened its doors and started selling seed to customers.
And I didn't know this, but it came out a few years ago. This dates way back. So when the store that we're in was built, it was built in 1911.
Mm-hmm.
So that we were the farthest thing south, and they told Jim's grandfather, "You'll never make it. It's too far
south.
Too far south." And so he did it. He took a gamble and he did it anyways. So, and of course, it paid off.
And now it's downtown.
But, now it's right in the middle of town. But everything that was south of us, there was a black work camp.
Okay.
There was a Chinese work camp, and then back off to the east somewhere was the saloon, because it couldn't be in town, because that's harboring of bad things and stuff like that. Jim's grandfather, when water became available, they put in water lines and stuff like that. He actually had a spigot on the outside of the building. And everybody was all like, "What'd you put that for?" He actually put the spigot in for the camps, for them to be able to walk to get water versus going 4 or 5 blocks in to get water.
Just
and
being
stuff
neighborly.
Like that. Yeah, just something. I mean, nothing to jump up and down about. It's just put a water spigot in. It's no big deal. I will cover it. And then when electricity, believe it or not, when electricity came into Roswell, he had lights installed on the south side of the building. And that was for the school kids to be able to do their homework at night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, because people are like, "What are you lighting up the outside of the building for? This is stupid." And, I just want to. That was it. Yeah, I just want to.
Sure.
So, I mean, even back then, we were given to the community without really
announcing
it.
Just doing things to make life a little easier at that end of town.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it was just something that, Jim's grandfather, I guess he had the farm mentality. He had the town mentality. Maybe he had a little bit of the artistic mentality, because he saw everything and figured out real quick what was going to happen, how it was going to happen. Nowadays we got to look on a phone. I mean, you got your phone now. I mean, it's like, "Hey Google, what am I doing today?" Ding. "Oh, well, you're doing this and this." I can't have. Oh, my phone just went off. I can't do anything like that. I mean, because it'd probably come back and be like, "You're doomed." If I try to put everything in what I do in a day, it never happens.
You kind of wish times were simpler like that.
Just super. Nowadays, I just shoot from the hip and pray.
Right.
It's just kind of like,
It's like, I got a series of things done today. How many did I not get done? We'll worry about it tomorrow.
Yeah, basically.
But again, it gets back to that point. So, and now that we're getting into the fall here and everything else, kind of if you're wanting to talk about fertilizing and protecting and winterizing your lawns and all that, Roswell Seed, that's what they do. And they go, and we've talked about this every time John's been in, they, because of 100+ years of serving Southeast Mexico, but Roswell, you guys are pretty well versed in how Roswell's climate is, how Roswell's soil is. So, when you do go into Roswell Seed and you ask for questions about maybe you're winterizing your lawn or something, they're going to ask you, like, "Where do you live?" And you'll be like, "In Roswell." It's like, "No, what part of Roswell?"
Right, yeah.
And there's a reason why they're asking you that question, because if you're on the south end, they might tell you a different answer than if you live on the north end.
Yeah. And it was just, I mean, this year has been kind of, I don't know, it's been unique.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of weird things happen this year. People can say, "Oh, climate change." Oh, no, because it happened back in the 20s. This other thing that grubs, generally grubs only come up like in the early summer, and they come up, they're out of the ground. They either turn into moths or like June bugs, and then they're gone. This year, we had multiple customers come in saying they were having a second hatching of grubs.
Ooh.
And it's like, what?
Soil's just right. The climate was right for it.
Yeah. And so we were kind of like, okay, it's got to be the humidity. That's what I'm kind of basing this stuff on, is the humidity. We've been way more humid than we've ever kind of been. So I thought, and then somebody informed me, no, it was, if you look back into like the 20s or something like that, they recorded record humidity days in that during that time. So it's coming back around. It's not something that we need to worry about. No, this happened 60 years ago, and funguses that we have in the grass. Now, if you do have that, you are going to have to treat it real early spring, probably like late winter, early spring type of deal. You'll have to treat it, unfortunately, because we don't know what's going to happen next summer.
That's if there's a fungus among us.
Yeah, there, boy, and that was, luckily we have a very good county extension agent. His name is Drew Garnett.
Mhm.
Really nice guy.
He's on the show every month. Here.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool guy. And I call him up. He's like, "Hey, Drew, it's John. Hey, John." I was like, "Stop acting so nice over the phone. I know you're dreading this call." He just laughs, And
he's just nice all the time.
Yeah, he just is. And I always give him a hard time about it. But I mean, he helped us pin down, the funguses and stuff like that. And we started getting it out to all of our customers, all of our lawn care guys, trying to tell them, hey, don't, because you can take this from yard to yard to yard to yard. And, we appreciate the business, but that's not how we want business.
Sure.
It's like,
Hey, infect your neighbors.
Yeah.
Come get a shot.
Yeah. Go,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, a couple of little spikes this summer, and we got it kind of under control. We hope, we think. Who knows what's going to bring it?
And I'm sure over the years there's always been anomaly years of some weird thing. And this year, because we got a little bit more humidity and moisture this year, which impacted the soil a little differently, and we had a second grub season because of here. But there's going to be years where maybe it's dry and it's going to create its own unique problems.
Yeah.
And so that's just what happens.
And the biggest problem that we have is we no longer have Jim Gill, who, oh yeah, I remember back in 43, this, it's like, okay, so now we got to rely on the grandchildren of these people that come in and say, well, my grandpa used to talk about in like 31 when blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, really? Cool. Okay. Now that makes kind of more, now we have to go through that kind of, where before I could just open up the office. Hey, Dad, what? So, oh yeah, back in 45, this happened and blah, blah, blah. And, put this on it. Make sure you wear the sock bigger on the left side than on the right, and go counterclockwise, that kind of stuff.
Right.
I don't have that anymore.
Sure.
So now I rely more on, the customer tales.
Sure.
Hey, my grandpa talked about this. Like, okay, let's, you got my interest. Let's talk. I need to know this because this is what we're dealing with now, type of deal. So
Absolutely.
It plays off,
Absolutely. But that's, yes, we've lost Jim Gill, and yes, there was a vast amount of knowledge that went with him, but he did, that's still there. And you know what I mean? And yes, so it's not on John's brain right at the tip like it was with Jim, but he can do his research, and there's archives of history of things. That,
give me a little bit. I mean, I got two brain cells that fight constantly, so that's it.
It's just 100. When you got 100 plus years of data.
Yeah.
You can't remember it all at once.
Oh, no.
So,
and that's the thing. I mean, just with Jim and Eric Glover, who used to work with us, he did 43 years with the company. And between them, that was like 98 years of experience, just between the two of them.
Yeah.
And they left. Eric retired and then Dad passed. And now that leaves me, and I'm just like, I got 12 years. That's it. That's all I can say, And so, yeah, give me a little bit, I mean, I'm trying, when I have to research some of this stuff, I got to go into books. I hate reading. I hate reading with a passion. We were laughing the other day because I was like, Roswell's got a book club, right? And one of the guys was all like, yeah, I think so. Why? I said, we're going to take these old books, and I'm just going to start handing them out to some of these people and say, read this, and then come talk to me.
Give me the book report. Yeah.
Here
give
you
me
go.
a Cliff Notes version of this book, please.
And everybody was kind of laughing, and then one of the guys was like, that might actually work, right? And I'm like, I don't, I mean.
I feel like that's like, you ever remember the movie Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, where he's got Kurt Vonnegut writing his paper on Kurt Vonnegut?
Then he got it all wrong. Whoever wrote this is an idiot. Yeah. But I mean, that's, and Jim was a reader. He would read everything.
Sure.
If it doesn't have pictures on it, that's gone. I'm sorry. I'm not looking at it. So yeah, we might actually kind of do that because we have books that date way back. And when I say way back, I'm not talking about like the 19 or 1800s. I'm talking like when the books really started to get involved with agriculture and stuff like that. So that's going to be 70s, early, middle to late 70s is when these books really started to come into play. And we have those. And it's like, I look at it going, I don't want to. I really don't want to. I mean, I had to look through a deal on alfalfa just in our area. The book was, I think, 600 and something pages. Oof. And it's just data sheets. Basically, it tells you what the name of the alfalfa is, when it was
So
introduced.
it's not a story or anything.
Yeah, no, it's just all pure data.
It's just numbers and
and you're
figures,
just
yeah.
looking at this, and then you go to like page 10, and it's page 1, but the rest of the data of heat, blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, and then you go to page 30, and it's back to page 1 and 10, and it gives you so it's like, oh my gosh, there's only like 70 or 80 seeds on this thing, but it's 600 pages of it, and every like 30 pages, it's from the 30 pages prior. That's where it starts, and you're just looking at it going, oh my god.
My head hurts just listening to
that.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there looking at that, and like I said, I have squirrel moments. Although I'm a Marine, I don't, just show me where to go and I'll destroy it.
Right.
Easy.
Marines, you can point in the direction, go do that, and they'll do it.
Point and grunt. That's it.
Right.
That's why they call us grunts. But then you start looking through this, and I'm like, oh my god. And then I start thinking back, and it's like, Dad read this whole book, this whole thing. He read it. He read it from front to back like a novel, and I'm like, no.
Of course, he has degrees in it too, so that helps.
it helps quite a bit. So possibly book club coming up with Roswell Seed Company.
That's right. Hey, La Tutila, would you like some reading material John can drop off for you guys to do a summation on for you?
Yeah. Give me a quick synopsis on it. Hey, this is what happened. Perfect. Love it. Thank you. It's like, oh yeah. Because he could go. I mean, he would remember those things. He'd go to that book, open it up, flip it up. Yeah. That's the weed right there. And I'm looking, going, where the hell did you find that? I don't even know where that was even at.
Yeah. Of course, you've probably seen all these things. And then, it's probably a lot easier when you've seen it in person and then reference the book later.
Right.
Then, rather than you're not familiar with it in a book and then you see it later. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm lost either way because I'm looking at it going, pretty flowers of the Southwest. Oh, okay. And you start looking at it and it's like, well, there's no pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so old that the pictures are drawn in. That doesn't even have a picture. I'm like, I don't want to read that. It doesn't have a cool picture.
Some artist was out in the middle of a field.
Yeah. So it started
sketching this flower.
Stuff. Yeah. It's like, we probably got pictures in that book from like, Peter Hurt or something. Oh, the daisy flower. It's like, woo.
It's kind of like, I keep doing movie references here, but do you remember the movie Master and Commander? That was it starred, what's his name from Gladiator?
Russell Crowe?
Yeah, Russell Crowe. And he was the commander of a British, it was a warship, and they were during war and all that. But his buddy, who was a surgeon, was on the boat, and they were down by the Galapagos Islands, part of the war there. And so he's a scientist guy. And anyway, there's a scene in the movie where he ends up at the Galapagos Islands, and he's sitting there, and the one guy's literally doing what you're just talking about. He's like taking the animals and the lizards and drawing sketches and doing just like. And that's what when you talked about it, that's what I think of that scene from that movie. But yeah, it's a good Navy movie if you like Master and Commander.
Master and Commander.
It was old like British Revolutionary War era type ships and stuff.
But I mean that's where all this data started and it comes from, and now it's just being built. I can get on my phone and look at it. Sure, if you don't know the name of it, I mean, you could take a picture of it now, but it gives you. Like, we have people that come in, and this weed, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's bindweed. Well, it doesn't say that it's bindweed. I know what bindweed looks like. Well, it doesn't say bindweed. It says, southeastern cockatiel, so it's bindweed.
Right.
So and we get that too with our people that have been here forever. They'll come in and they'll ask for like seeds, and you're just sitting there looking at them going, huh? And they're all like, you got it. It's right there. And you look down, and it's like, well, it's a purple top turnip. What did you call it? It's like,
is that the Latin name?
Yeah,
what is that?
there's just that's what they were.
Sarsaparilla, Nigeria stuff.
Yeah, it is like that's just what they were told when they were kids.
You want a daisy?
Yeah, it's like because I forgot what it is. Something is creeping blue feline or something. It's a creeping blue feline. And I'm like, what the hell is a creeping blue feline? It's blue morning glory.
Okay.
Blue. But he knows it as and I'm like,
well, it's kind of like when you were kids and you had that weed that had the yellow and it made we called them buttercup flowers. And I don't know what they're actually called. We just call them buttercup flowers.
Yeah.
But there's an actual name for those somewhere.
Yeah, it's probably like 36 letters long on it.
I think it's a weed, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we were chewing on weeds as kids, Can't get away with that no more, So, I mean, it's, we try to do, like I said, we lost a huge portion of our history, and life is history. I mean, you you need to know history so you don't make the same mistake like what we're making right now on the world. And
But at the same time, you're also gaining your own experience.
Yeah, and we're turning it our way.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to, because I'm not Jim Gill, and I never will be.
And to be honest, there was a time where Jim Gill was probably sputtering and stuttering through this stuff too, and like, whoa, this is over my head too.
Yeah.
And then, but after a few years, you tend to learn a thing or two.
Yeah. It's just sometimes you're just looking at it going, I should have listened on that day.
Yeah.
I knew
but I'm
that,
sure, it's always that begat thing,
Yeah.
and there was somebody in Jim's life that probably, nurtured him.
His
showed him
dad.
the way. Yeah.
I mean, his dad was just like a genius.
Yeah.
I mean, he actually built one of the seed cleaning machines in the back.
Okay.
Yeah. And we don't use it very much, but if we have to fine tune something, we put it on that machine and it works amazing. And you're just sitting there going, where the hell did he get the idea for this?
Is it trademarked?
No, it's actually a seed cleaning machine, but he revamped it to make it work for our needs type of deal.
So he jerry-rigged it to make it more efficient.
Yeah.
Tim the tool man tailored it up.
Basically, yeah. Put the Binford 5000 on it, And so, I mean, we don't run it very, very often anymore, but you just sitting there looking at it going, the thought process that went into this and how he understands, because, I mean, he's using gravity, he's using air, and he's using shake and all this other stuff. And you're like, how do you come up with that? I mean, that's just from, dealing with things. Oh,
Sure.
try this, or try that. I mean, they didn't have machines back in the day. I mean, they had a screen and two guys, sifting,
Sure.
stuff like that.
Well,
And
after
you're like,
many years of that, you figure out a better way to
do it.
make the new mousetrap there. It is. It's like, this sucks. Let's find a better way. First, you're like, let's pay a guy to do it, and then it's like, I'm tired of paying this guy. Let's create a machine.
to do it. Yeah, simplification of things, but no.
But yeah, just seeing the time, we probably should start wrapping this up. Kind of bringing it back to Roswell Seed. That if you're looking for help, advice, this plant's not doing what I thought it was, or hey, I want to start planting I want pumpkins. When should I start planting them? All right, let's talk.
Too late.
But
anyways, yeah.
Right. If you come in now, they're gonna say next year.
Yeah.
But
so right now, your grasses, everybody wants, you can plant your fescue or your ryegrasses right now. Garden people, any of your leafy stuff, lettuce, kale, cabbages, and that kind of stuff, that's going in now. You should be putting your fertilizer down for your pecan trees right now. You can start fertilizing all your other trees before they go into dormancy as well.
Yeah, this is a time to kind of protect the roots, protect the soil, but while it goes dormant here for the winter, and keeping it nourished and kind of a blanket so it can keep the moisture in and all that.
Yeah, it gives them that nutrients and stuff.
So when it comes back in the spring, it's got a healthy base.
Yeah, honey. We're hoping to get out. I'm hoping to get out there sometime this week to start to get some honey.
Okay.
Let's see what else is coming. Pansies are coming out here I say pretty soon. Probably in about another month. We'll have pansies out.
Okay.
Around November, we'll have our garlic in. People have been calling for garlic left and right. Need garlic? Yes, we know. Got garlic and stuff like that. So we're slowly getting everything in. Right now, we're trying to be able to bring stuff in, not too early, but early enough. But then some of our areas, we have to coordinate with them because they get snowed in.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's kind of like, hey, if you pull the trigger now, or you ain't going to get it for a month and a half or 2 months,
And quite frankly, the weather has been a little, I'm sure trees and stuff are a little like,
yeah.
We start turning, oh, wait, no, it's 90 again. Hold on. Oh, but it's starting to get cold. Maybe we should start turning. No, it's 90 again.
I love it when who was it? Robin Williams was saying that, weather by Sybil.
Yeah,
that's what it is around here. It's like,
and that's the weird part, because it's New Mexico. If you get high enough in the state, go up at a higher elevation, you're going to see colors already.
Yeah.
But not in lower elevation.
No.
Down in Roswell, not yet. We're about a month out. But if I don't even know about Ruidoso, but if you get up at like Taos, or if you get up around 12,000 feet, you're probably seeing color changes.
Yeah, because they're already starting to drop down, and that's it.
So maybe up by Ski Apache, you might be seeing some.
Yeah. So we got our wheat in, a little bit of it in. A lot of that's all gone. I don't have any oats. I got to I found some oats, but it's another one of those things. I got to bring a truck of it in, and I can't sell a truckload of oats, but we're trying to work something out to be able to get oats in and stuff. So we're working on big crops and stuff like that. I do have some new cover crop stuff for people like with small gardens. They just want to keep it airy and light. Come in, see me. I do have some cover crop that you could throw out. I was selling it up in Ruidoso. to the people up there to keep their soil from moving and their houses moving.
Yeah, they've been dealing with a lot of burn scar stuff.
Yeah. So, but this stuff will work anywhere. And I've got a couple of people that they've planted it. They like it. So we brought some more of it in, help you guys out. Puts a lot of nitrogen back in the soil.
Yeah, and that's one thing you'll find at Roswell Seed is a lot of the products that, especially the ones you recommend when people come ask questions, are generally ones that you've had a lot of customer success with.
Yeah.
Things that people, they come in, they've tried it on their soil, they've tried it in their products, and they've had good success, and it all works here.
Yeah.
So that's the key.
Yeah.
And that's what, that's what I'm saying. Whenever it comes to your lawn, your garden, or any of that stuff, come talk to the local experts that know the climate, the soil, Roswell Seed. They got you covered. I get it. Big box stores are convenient and things when you want to get stuff. But if you're looking for information and making sure you get the proper product and not just what somebody says, the package says it'll work. Go to Roswell Seed. Go to Roswell Seed.
And don't call me from Home Depot. Don't do that crap. I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm looking at this bag right here at Home Depot. Oh, buy it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Why well, you guys have all the information. Yeah, come in and see us. Or they'll call, hey, does this stuff? I don't know. I don't sell that brand. Well, it's all the same, isn't it? No.
Yeah. It's like you work at Burger King. I don't call you from McDonald's saying, hey, is this as good as a Whopper?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
That's great. I never thought of that. Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely. Easily.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But John, as always, appreciate it. Tell Crystal, hope she gets to feeling better.
Yeah,
and,
I got to text her in a little bit.
I'm sure you got a few fires to stomp out at the office.
Oh boy, do I. Yeah.
Well, thank you, John, as
thank
always.
You guys. Bye now.
All right, 9:55. Let's have a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
The race, I've kept the faith. Now there is in store for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but to all who have longed for his appearing. There's a lot of craziness in our world these days. However, for those who have accepted the saving grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, we know that the next life will be full of perfect peace. After living a life trying to destroy followers of Christ, the Lord spoke to Paul and changed his life's work to preaching the saving grace of Jesus. He truly fought the good fight from that point on. He had lived through persecution, prison, and even peril, yet was ready in the end to meet God's judgment, knowing that he had done what God had called him to do. You too can have that same assurance that even though this world is a mess, if you answer the call of God, you can face judgment with peace. Do you want to find that peace? Join us to learn how.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
The Fall into Savings sales event is on now at Roswell Hyundai, the home of...
Yes.
Get a 24 Hyundai Tucson SE just $442 a month, or a 24 Hyundai Elantra SEL just $379 a month, and test drive the all-new 25 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid, rugged and ready for wherever the road takes you. 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select vehicles, and don't forget to sign up to win one of 2 65-inch 4K smart TVs to be given away September 21st and 28th at 1 p.m. The Fall into Savings sales event on now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
At Artesia General Hospital, we know it's early, but schedule your mammogram today and save. Call 855-RAD-EXAM and save 10% off mammograms scheduled through October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And get a refreshing drink discount from Kith & Kin in Artesia or Blue House in Carlsbad. We use leading-edge, FDA-approved Genius 3D mammography technology to deliver more accurate results faster and with more comfort. Women over 40 do not need a referral for yearly screenings. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/mammogram.
Eastern New Mexico University is proud to announce our newest offering, a Master of Social Work degree. This 100% online, affordable master's degree has 3 concentrations: clinical, clinical military, and children, youth, and families. This online master's degree is perfect for the working professional, as you can earn your degree on your own time with our flexible online courses. For more information, visit www.enmu.edu/MSW. Eastern New Mexico University, student success. That's what we're about.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And good morning. Closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. Stay tuned next hour. Bob Power is going to join us at the top of the hour talking about dance at Westminster Presbyterian Church on this weekend. And then also we'll play our interview.
Breaking news this hour. I'm Rich Thomason. The indictment unsealed. New York City Mayor Eric Adams indicted on federal charges alleging bribe-taking and illegal campaign contributions from foreign sources. Adams insisting he's innocent, says he will not resign.
I have been facing these lies for months since I began to speak out for all of you and their investigation started. Yet the city has continued to improve. Make no mistake, you elected me to lead this city. And lead it, I will.
Early this morning, the feds raided Gracie Mansion, the mayor's official residence, and they made off with his phone. Hurricane Helene poised to strike Florida, strengthening as it moves across the Gulf of Mexico. The National Hurricane Center's Jack Bevan says it could be a Cat 4 when it makes landfall this evening in the Big Bend region.
Up in the Tallahassee area, they are forecasting some areas that will get a 15 to 20 feet of storm surge inundating above the ground level, which means that if you're standing up at the coast or at some areas there, the water will be 15 to 20 feet deep in what's normally dry ground.
And President Biden has okayed a federal disaster declaration for the state of Florida.
The disaster declaration unlocks additional federal resources to help the state respond to the approaching storm. White House officials say the president has been briefed on the hurricane and its potential impact. Meanwhile, the Trump campaign has postponed 2 campaign appearances by vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance in Georgia because of the severe weather forecast.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. As former President Trump hits the home stretch of his White House run, his lawyers heading to a New York appeals court, a bid to overturn a civil fraud judgment that could cost Mr. Trump $500 million. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 207 points, NASDAQ down 2. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
It's been a falling out between Elon Musk and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Musk, among the world's wealthiest men, not invited to the UK government's International Investment Summit.
In early August, the billionaire used his social network to predict civil war in the UK, repeatedly attacked the Prime Minister and spread misinformation at a delicate time. During the riots, Musk shared and later deleted on X a conspiracy theory about the UK building detainment camps on the Falkland Islands for rioters. At the time, ministers said his comments were totally unjustifiable and pretty deplorable. The government decided it wouldn't be appropriate to invite him to the summit. The BBC asked for Elon Musk's response, but has heard nothing so far.
The BBC's Faisal Islam. Members of Britain's governing Labour Party dealing the Prime Minister a blow by rejecting his decision to cut a payment that offsets winter heating expenses for millions of retirees. News and analysis, townhall.com. It's not over yet.
There's been another death in the deli meat listeria outbreak. Federal health officials say a 10th person has died in the listeria outbreak that shut down a Boar's Head deli meat plant. The CDC says at least 59 people in 19 states have gotten sick due to the bacteria first detected in a plant in Virginia. The latest fatality was reported in New York. Boar's Head faces multiple lawsuits related to the deaths and the illnesses. I'm Shelley Adler.
Russian President Putin says any country's conventional attack on Russia that's supported by a nuclear power will be considered a joint attack on his nation. The threat was clearly aimed at discouraging the West from allowing Ukraine to strike Russia with longer-range weapons. That's something that Ukraine has been pushing for. Today, President Biden is meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky at the White House. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What? In the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Hope your Thursday's going well.
Indubitably.
Got a full slate this hour. Bob Power scheduled to join us here in just a bit. Talk about dance happening at Westminster Presbyterian Church this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we're going to play our interview with Adrian Ragdale later in the hour to talk.
Oh, hello.
Is it a crystal day? Must be. I didn't know we had it.
Well,
we pushed it a week. I think if we did, I think we crossed it off. But okay, well, Bob's supposed to be here, but if Bob doesn't show up, we'll hang out. Okay, Bob's only going to be for a couple minutes. So hang on. So we're gonna have Crystal Noble here.
There you go. It's interesting when the hour paints itself.
Yeah, for some reason it was crossed on mine. I didn't know if we did that or what, so I didn't remember doing it. But I was like, we must have talked about it. I don't remember, so I saw it was crossed off. So. Yeah,
it's weird. So that means we have both variants. That means we have a crystalless John this week and a Johnless Crystal this week. I want to see if we kind of combine those two cards together. If we get like a new form, like the Gistel.
Yes. Maybe
the Johnstel. Or they'll just call the amalgamation will just call themselves Noble.
Ooh, there you go. There you go. That looks. I could see it in what's that, Gaelic? What is that?
Well, I was picturing it like a Pokemon / Magic the Gathering card.
Yeah, or like
with all their info at the bottom.
Whatever that writing's called
Gaelic.
That they use in the Tom Hanks Mona Lisa movies. What are those things called? Where he's running around the Vatican and all that.
Oh my God! As you said it, it left my head.
The one he's running around.
Dan Brown's the author.
Yeah, he's running around the Vatican and all that. Da Vinci Code. Yeah, you know that writing in the Da Vinci Code where you see it backwards and forwards and all that. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So.
Or it just looks like the ring, the writing on the ring in Lord of the Rings. It's
there you
elven.
Go. Something old and something medieval looking.
It was funny during the Olympics this last summer. I was noticing a lot of the writing on the jerseys from other countries, and it was at that very moment that I realized why AI has such a hard time mimicking the English alphabet. Like why all their letters always look so kind of like wonky and in different fonts, and how that's like the one way you can always tell. You just look at the writing, because if you look at like the Greek alphabet or like the Turkish alphabet or any one of those other countries, fill in the blank here, their letter set is insane.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't really know what you're looking for, what are you looking at?
That's why I'm going to just switch and write in all bubble letters.
It's all bubbles.
That's right.
Big with the...
When I send my notes, it's all going to be bubble talk.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Why does everything look like a cartoon to this guy?
Why does Mike take 13 minutes to write out a card? Signing your name's going to be real interesting.
That's right.
All those S's.
That's right. Actually, what I'll do is I'll go to the old school high school, with the 3 lines and the little triangles. You know what I'm talking about, the S's?
I know we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
But it's funny that in an era that predates the internet, how widespread and how every single person in a generation had that S somewhere on a notebook or inside of a textbook. It was everywhere.
And then if you had an S in your name.
Yep. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
I learned a stylized way to do it with like the bendy sides.
Oh, yeah.
But it was I don't even know. It was just like a thing. It was like passed down.
That's right.
Somebody showed me how to do it. And maybe it was on a TV show. I don't know, but somewhere I picked up how to do it.
I'm going to guess it happened like it happened to everybody else. Someone was in some class, in some grade, doodling on their notebook or their paper brown book cover on their textbook.
Right.
Which that was a thing back in the day. The grocery bag, back when you got paper bags back in the grocery store. And so they were doodling those S's.
Back when a paper bag wasn't just an indicator that you had a drinking problem.
That's right. I used to like see guys. Never mind. Let me finish my other story before I get to this story.
Sorry.
And what happened is that there was someone doodling. Someone looked over and said, "Oh, that's cool." And then they watched them. I think I can make that too. And they start doing it, and then it spreads. And then they're doodling in another class, and then it just spreads.
That answered my question because I was like, well, somebody showed me how to do it, and I'm like, well, who showed that kid?
Yeah,
So-
it was something along those natures, or something like that. Oh, and by the way, the other thing with the brown paper, the other thing was like sometimes you have to tell the kids pay attention because you look because sometimes on like especially if you we had Safeways near us, and if you got the bags from Safeway. A lot of times they had discount coupons for trips to King's Dominion.
Oh.
So I was like, hey, don't put that on your book cover. You could get $20 off your King's Dominion ticket.
Mike, go get your history book. We're going to King's Dominion.
Shoot, it expired in August. Dang it. Yeah, every once in a while you'd see those.
The funny one was because I grew up in an era of plastic bags. We didn't just have a lot of paper bags laying around.
Yeah.
So my mom opted for the comics page. That's what I had my history or my books wrapped in was the comics page.
You're like, my mom shops at Shoppers Food Warehouse. They don't give us bags.
No, our store was called Thrifty. It was a thrifty supermarket.
Thrifty. All right. No, we had an A&P.
We had a Walmart and a Winn-Dixie. I will say that.
Okay.
That was at the end of town.
Now, Walmart didn't show up until I was probably early teens.
Okay.
For grocery store we had Giant. That was kind of a big chain in the DC area. I think it's still around, Giant. And
what was that one?
There was a couple Food Lions, but not near us. They were more like a county south of us.
Okay.
But yeah, Safeway, A&P, and Giant were the three biggies around us. And then Shoppers Food Warehouse showed up later and that was kind of in the dawn of the warehouse shopping where they were like, we don't, it's buy in bulk things. They bring your own bags. That concept started showing up around that time.
I think it was called TG&Y. Yep, TG&Y. That was the store. That was the store that was in place. It was a 5 and dime store that was in place before the Walmart came to Medill.
Okay,
and then it was Walmart. It was a Walmart Winn-Dixie combo.
You say 5 and dime store, and we had one in our town. And I think at one time in the history of 5 and dimes, it was probably a chain.
Okay.
But I think it was either the last one left or one of very few. And it was called a Ben Franklin.
Okay.
And it was literally a 5 and dime. Familiar. You could go in there and buy anything from pool supplies to snacks. I mean, it was a 5 and dime. It was like you could buy I always laughed because they on the front window they had all those little plastic placards. It was kind of big, like the ones you used to get, like if you win a prize at the fair, and it'd be like Redskin fan only parking or any of those kinds of big things. So there was a heyday of those, and they had a bunch of these plastic signs on the door, on the front window, but they were all pool related, and it was all sayings like, "We don't swim in your toilet. Please don't pee in our pool."
Right.
Welcome to our ool. Notice there's no pee. Let's keep it that way. Signs like that. And I was fascinated by it. Let's see what signs they got.
Let's see what the new ones are. Let's go check out the new. You just triggered a memory for me though. Is why was an entire generation of children rewarded from carnival games with Coke mirrors? How many times did you pop enough balloons and you were handed a
because there was a Guns N' Roses or Bon Jovi logo on it.
I'm like, oh, this will look cool on my wall.
It's like, who got the Kip Winger one?
I remember I took one of those home. My mom was like, what are you doing with this? I'm like, I won it.
See, it says warrant on it.
That was at the Sandbass Festival.
I had my share of those. Yep, I had. Or I even got a couple where I thought it was more artsy, and it's like a glittery lion or something. It was like something, like,
right?
It's like one step above or below Velvet Jesus.
I was gonna say, I was gonna bring up velvet paintings.
Yeah,
that was the same era. Yeah. Coke mirrors and velvet paintings.
Yep.
I just imagined that like the carnival, like big carnival, had just like an influx of Coke mirrors after.
Yeah.
It was after the 80s. People, it was kind of out of fashion.
Could you still get the fish in the bag, or did like PETA shut all those down?
I think they still do that. I mean, up to a few years ago when I went to the fair, yeah, they still had fish in bags.
Okay. So. I've never met someone that actually like kept that fish for more than a week.
Right. Well, that's their lifespan. That's what they're there for.
Well, I don't know. I'd say a goldfish a couple years. I mean, I've seen cartoons. They lived forever in the cartoons. Man, they had, and I know it's the same. It's just different.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same level of garbage. It's
right.
just different garbage this day.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's like iPhone cases and
right.
stuff like that.
I'll have to go survey the fair this year and see what's changed.
Although I would not be surprised if there is the mirrored thing.
If I could still find, you know what? I think they're now for sale. I think that's how they changed.
Now they got like, I don't know, Billie Eilish on them or something.
It's like,
I don't know.
Well, no, it's like in memory of Billie, of like Mandy.
The in memoriam
yeah.
ones. Yeah. So a lot of Tupac
rest,
ones.
Rest in peace,
Tupac and
Julo or something like that,
Or personalized. Get your personalized ones. Yeah.
The Virgin Mary in one corner.
Yeah. We haven't seen Bob yet, have we?
No. I've seen it before.
Well, I mean,
today?
In the other room.
No, not today.
All right. Well, we'll move on here. Crystal Noble with the with the Roswell Humane Society. I almost said Roswell Seed. Is going to join us here in just a few minutes. Of course, we'll update the big show on Friday night and talk about what's on the horizon here for the Humane Society. If Bob shows up, we'll get him on real quick, talk about a dance that I believe is Saturday night at Westminster Presbyterian Church. They usually have a great night of music and food and all kinds of good stuff. So if Bob joins us, we'll chat with him there. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have strong high pressure in place, and that'll hang around through the upcoming weekend, keeping things dry, sunny, and warm. We're in the low 90s and sunshine through the day, down to 60 and clear for the overnight hours. We're expecting low 90s for the high again on Friday and sunny. For Saturday and Sunday, the weather pattern stays sunny and very warm. Afternoon highs both days in the low 90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, you know what? My weather is not the freshest. Let me spruce that up a bit. There we go. Currently 68 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 47%. Winds currently out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Sunny, 92 for a high today. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 61 degrees with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, 93 for a high. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Looking at the weekend on Saturday, sunny skies and a high of 91. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. Sunny on Sunday, highs right around 90. And Monday, officially day one of the fair, even though they have the free preview and everything this weekend. But Monday, sunny and warm with a high of 94. But then we drop down to 86 on Tuesday. So welcome to New Mexico weather. But overall, it looks like fair weather is going to be pretty good. All right, 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, we're going to take a quick 3-minute commercial break, and then Crystal Noble will join us on the other side from the Roswell Humane Society. Don't go away.
What? My trade's got to be worth more than this!
Hey, Roswell and surrounding areas, don't get hit hard by low trade offers. Right now, the all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade. That means you'll get top dollar for your trade. Stuck in your loan or lease, Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth. So you can drive a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for a lot less. For a limited time, get 0% APR or no payments till 2025. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality, pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Roswell Ford has partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford with new management and a whole new attitude. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell or online at roswellford.com. 0 APR for 36 months is $27.78 per thousand financed on select models. No payments till 2025. Subject to lender approval through Ford credit. Offers not combined.
The Eastern New Mexico State Fair is coming September 30th through October 5th at the fairgrounds in Roswell. This year's entertainment lineup features something for everyone. Don't miss live entertainment including Ron Diamond, the Hypnotist Magician, and the Rocket Man Valencia, the Human Cannonball, performing all week. Then on Thursday night, don't miss Britney's Rage and Twist on Taylor, a tribute to Taylor Swift. Friday night, it's the Justin Kemp Band.
Can I borrow a kiss if I promise to give it back?
And country legend Rick Trevino.
Sitting right back, Bobby and Mason.
And Saturday night, don't miss Tejano Night, featuring Los Concentrados del Norte, City Juarez, and Senora Escándalo.
Es más fuerte que el amor.
Best of all, parking and admission to the concerts is free with your paid admission to the fair. The Eastern New Mexico State Fair, September 30th through October 5th at the fairgrounds in Roswell. Ad paid for by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
So your pecans aren't as big and bountiful as they used to be? Well, what would Jim Gill do?
Hi, this is Ben from Roswell Seed Company. Few people knew as much about pecans as Jim Gill. And if he were here today, he'd tell you it was time to fertilize. He'd tell you just what you need and show you how to use it. Then he'd make some joke about your neighbors making fun of your nuts.
So when there's trouble with your pecans, head for Roswell Seed Company and ask them, what would Jim Gill do?
The end of summer sales event is on now at Roswell Honda with savings across the lot on a blazing hot selection of vehicles. Get the job done with nearly $8,000 off 2024 Honda Ridgeline, now just $699 a month, or a 2024 Honda Accord, now just $499 a month. In the service department, take $10 off an oil change, 10% off walk-in parts, and buy 3 tires, get the 4th one free. The end of summer sales event is on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, back from the Roswell Humane Society, Crystal Noble with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, big win. I would say last Friday night was a huge success. I haven't seen numbers or anything, but in terms of the event itself, we had a good crowd, and
we did.
Everybody did a great job. Food was good. The gift baskets were amazing. Everyone that donated, they did awesome stuff. And
they did.
Everything everything from my perspective seemed to be a huge success.
I was so stressed out about that whole thing, and then afterwards, I was like, "Oh my God, it is done! It is done." We had a huge turnout. We're hoping to do it again in maybe a year or so.
Okay.
And so learn from the first one and move on to the next.
Bigger, better, stronger. A second annual, maybe we could call it.
Yeah.
Well, very good.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we got some good money raised, but the Humane Society, if you want to keep donating, please do not stop donating.
Yes, please.
Either money or even litter, food donations for the pets and things like that. All of that very beneficial. And don't forget, they have that amazing thrift store. So if you've got items, furniture, clothing, collectibles, appliances, whatever, reach out to the Humane Society. They can use those donations as well, too.
Yeah, speaking of the thrift store, today they're doing everything in the back room except Halloween half off.
Okay.
They have a lot of appliances, ranging from in-wall stoves.
Okay.
In-wall ovens, double ovens.
Okay.
They have
you come down and see if those sizes match up for you, and maybe they'll slide right into your space there.
They have a fireplace, a propane fireplace. Very beautiful.
Nice. You'll appreciate that here in a month or two.
Like up to my chin. It's tall.
Okay.
And big.
All right. That'll come in handy here in about a month or two.
It will.
Mm-hmm.
A gas stove for like when you have the center islands and then you just have the stovetop in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a gas stove.
Okay.
They have a really small, cool wine cooler. so that way if you need to chill some wine and you don't want to chill like tons of bottles, you got a little cooler for it. They still have a few flat screen TVs. They've got a lot of furniture donated recently. I saw a big fluffy couch and ottoman, or chair and ottoman.
Oh, cool.
Like a double stuffed chair. They've got a bunch of comforter sets, so if you're expecting some company and you want some new bed sheets and whatever, bed frames in various sizes from twins to king size. You want to decorate for the holidays, they've got a bunch of throw pillows. And now that school dances are kicking off, and I think we still have Roswell High's homecoming coming up.
Is that coming up this weekend?
I think so.
Yeah.
They have a ton of formal wear for girls and boys.
Okay. Plus, it is, holiday season. Sometimes there's,
Other
holiday
occasions.
parties and events where you
Yes.
need to get a little more formal. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And then for the schools, they have a ton of Goddard and Roswell High football jerseys.
Okay.
And
show
then,
your colors out at the Wool Bowl on Fridays.
yes, and then they have a lot of football wear and attire for the football players.
Okay.
So they got the pants, they got the jerseys, they got the pads. They still have a bunch of cleats.
Okay.
All brand new, donated, brand new, never used,
Oh,
never
wow.
worn.
So it might be
Various
able-
sizes. So if you need some,
There might be some little league teams that could use, depending on the sizes, there
Yes.
could use some of that equipment too. I know.
or you need a couple of backup pair of pants because you got a little rough in your last football
well,
game.
it is football. Things get torn, things get
Uh-huh.
get ripped. That's what happens.
They have a lot of clothes. They always have a lot of clothes. Clothes is their number
Oh
one
yeah,
thing.
a lot of brand new stuff,
Mhm.
still with tags on it in some cases.
Yeah, that's where the majority of my clothes come from.
I tell, this is something and a tip. If you're a young person straight out of school, college, and you get your first, young professional's job, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, I got to upgrade my wardrobe because now I got to wear business attire every day. That is an extremely expensive upgrade right there.
It is.
Go to the Humane Society thrift store. You're going to find dresses, slacks, shirts that are very much appropriate, that are most of them brand new or in excellent condition, and instead of paying $50 for a shirt, you're going to pay about $5 for it.
And if you need dress shoes,
Yeah.
like depending on like how fancy you want to be,
Mhm.
they always have a ton of nice dress shoes, slip-ons, heels, boots.
Mm-hmm.
They just have a ton of stuff, and a lot of people. Okay, and I'm guilty for this. Oh, hey, that's on sale. I'll get it. Don't pay attention to the size. It
Mhm.
doesn't fit.
Oh yeah.
Well, the it doesn't fit has its own category in the closet, and then eventually I'm like, I got to clear out some space in the closet so that it doesn't fit new
Yeah.
with tags goes to the thrift store.
Yeah. And or the other thing is you want to will it. Like the price is so right, you're like, I can slip into that medium. And then you get home and it's like, yeah, wishful thinking on that one. That's and then there's the other occasion, and this is where I'm starting to find myself, and it's just because of where I'm at, where now I have jeans and things that are 3 sizes too big for me, that are perfectly good jeans.
Yep.
They're just, now I wear 33s and these are 36s, and that's kind of, and
We change sizes quite often.
yeah. And so there's always the back hit. Oh, I'll keep one pair just in case, but you don't need to keep 6 pairs of pants that are no longer your size anymore.
Right. So if you have stuff that you would like to donate,
Mhm.
call down, talk to Camille or whoever answers the phone.
Make sure it is clean and serviceable. Like we said, if the pants look worn or the shirts are worn, please don't. We want the clothes to look.
If they're the Holy, that's not the fashionable Holy, just
Yeah.
throw those ones away.
Now, certain rags and things might be useful for other purposes, but
Yes.
yeah, it's clothing. No.
Yes. And if you have some items that you think, might not do well at the thrift store and you want to donate it for bedding, we do use those items for
Sure.
bedding.
Call and ask.
So call and
Yeah.
ask and say, hey, would this be something you can use?
Yeah,
We
they're
do
all
have-
about making second lives for things if it can do
Yes.
that. Absolutely.
And we do have a lot of people that call and ask us if we can use pillows on the kennel side.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we don't. Just because if they start
Is it choking?
destuffing it in
Yeah.
the middle of the night and they ingest it, that can cause bad problems. So
Yeah, and unfortunately, because of their environment, they're more than likely stressed,
Mhm.
and chewing is like a number one way to satiate stress.
yes. So we tend to veer away from stuffed items and look for items, if they shred a blanket, okay, you know, that's easily disposable. If they
and
shred,
it's not gonna
you
choke
know,
on
a
it or
sheet,
anything,
or a shirt or something, that's fine. But we try to steer away from things that they can ingest.
That
can
fill in the
cause
pillow
problems.
type stuff is just not good for them.
Right.
Whereas the cloth and stuff's not as detrimental to them. They don't eat it as much. And
No, the majority of the times that's what they spit out. But for
Yeah.
whatever reason, it's just like in the dog toys. You know, when they
That
rip that
stuffing.
little hole, that stuffing has got something.
Well, I'm guessing instinctually they think it's meat. You know what I mean? Like instinctually they think they just scored a kill and that's food. You know, I'm guessing. I don't know. I think deep down there's something in the just the DNA that's telling them that. You know.
I laugh because last night, 2 of my dogs were playing tug war with a toy, and it ripped, and so some stuffing got into the Great Dane's mouth, and that was, you know, when you see a dog, they get peanut butter stuck in the roof of their mouth.
they do-
How they do that weird face. Well, he did not like the texture of that stuffing in his mouth, and he was just having a meltdown because it was stuck. He couldn't get it out. And so I'm trying to help him get it out of his mouth, all the while the boxer's on the floor trying to eat the stuffing. And I'm like, no, stop. And I'm like, you spit that out. You give me that. And he's like, and I was like, oh. And so he ran into my sister's room.
That's the beauty of a pet ownership right there.
Yeah, so I run in there and I'm like, come here. And so he's like trying to dig at his mouth, and I get it out of his mouth, and he's just like, oh my God. And then the boxer's like walking, but he's like, his cheeks are full of stuffing. He's like, eh. And I'm like, oh man. So I have one who absolutely freaks out when he feels the stuffing, and the other one's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's dogs. I mean, that's just pets in general. They bring that, and yeah, you know, that's the fun part of being a pet, because you have those comic nights and the relief, and they bring entertainment. That's what's the beauty of being a pet owner, right?
It is, you know, and you get to come home like after bad days at work, and you know, they're home waiting for you. They're like, hey, the light of my day, and you're like, oh. But cats, dogs in general, you know, they greet you when you come home because you're there happy.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Last night we had with our 2 cats. We had it's weird. We had one cat. Our cats like different types of food. Like one, like we of our 2 cats. Whenever you cook breakfast sausage in the house, one cat, Bella, our black and white, goes nuts. The other one really could care less. But you bust out tuna fish, and our tortoiseshell, Hannah, is straight up gangsta. And the other one acts interested, like it forgets it doesn't like tuna. Because the other one says, oh, what do you got? And then you give it to her, and she just spits it out, throws it on the ground, and then the gangster comes and grabs it up. But we just had one of those last night where Kim fixed some tuna, and it was that all over again, where Bella's like, yeah, I want some. And then you're not going to eat it. And sure enough, she.
That's funny because out of every dog in the house, Titus is the pickiest. And it's so weird, you know, for a dog that's so tall that he could literally get anything off the cabinets he wants. He's the one dog that I could trust to leave any food out except cheese and it not get touched. He'll sniff by it, but he will not take it. Now, if I open cheese, he is the first one in the kitchen. He's like, hey.
How you doing?
Hi.
That smell gets him every time.
So, you know, that's mine, right? And so when I have to give him medicine, I stick it in, I get like the cheese cubes at Sam's. And so I stick it in the cheese cubes. Works every time.
Yeah.
Boxer? No. He picks it out of the cheese and spits the pill out and then eats the cheese. And I'm like, God dang it.
I had a dog who did that move. We would take, wasn't a pill taker. And she would, every time you put in bread, you put in bologna, whatever, it didn't matter. She'd chew around and spit it out. You had to physically throw it down her throat to get her, and then seal her mouth till she swallowed.
If you have that pill and you're offering it to another dog, the boxer thinks it's a treat.
And then good with it.
And then he'll eat it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man.
Unfortunately, I didn't have a second dog at the time to do that effect on him. But
yeah. But my sister, you know, she's staying with us, and she has 3 dogs. She has a Great Dane and then 2 pit mixes. And so it's funny because her Great Dane has allergies.
Okay.
And so does one of her pits. She has irritable bowel or something, IBD. And so they have to have medicine. So instead of just giving those 2 the medicine, you know, my sister will get a spoonful of like canned food or something and give something to everybody so everybody gets medicine.
Sure.
Well, Honeybee is, you know, tiny. And so as soon as my sister, like, she won't say medicine, she'll just get up and she'll walk to the kitchen. And then as soon as she hears the spoon click the bowl, Honeybee shoots out from wherever she's at, and she runs and she stands in between the dogs. And then as my sister goes to give the spoonful, she jumps up to grab it. So we call her the little demon dog because she's like, no, that's mine. Everything is mine.
I get it all.
and it doesn't matter what it is. Honeybee's like, that is mine. And I'm like, you were not taught to do that. You need to stop it.
That's instinctual little dog, big attitude mindset.
And it's so funny because, the Great Danes, they lay down to play with her.
Mm-hmm.
Even them laying down, they're still towering over her. But she's like, I'm the little dog here who's got all the big dogs in control. Everybody lays down to play with her.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. At the end of the day, even though the dogs are big and powerful, and then you look at this little one, but you put the heart, they're all the same inside. That little dog doesn't know it's a little dog.
No. And it's funny because when I was homesick this week, I had the little dog here, and then one of my sister's pit bulls, Blake, she was laying on the side of me, and then the boxer, Toby's laying on my legs, and I'm like, God, I really can't move if I needed to. And then I had the other boxer over here, or pit over here, Jasmine, so... And then the two Great Danes were laying on the couch. They're just looking at me like, yeah, we know there's no room over there. But when you're sick, they know, and they don't.
Oh, yeah.
They try to comfort you. And
yeah, they do it
it's
every
funny,
time.
when I was cold, man, I had a dog blanket. It was so good. And then when I was hot, I was like, okay, y'all got to get up.
Now it's, I'm good. Yep. I do it. When I have those days, I get on my chair and Cat right every time. I mean, like, if I go home for lunch, I'll sit down for a few minutes, watch some TV or something. And she's usually in my lap. That's kind of every time. Where she's, like, if it's Kim and I, she's mostly in Kim's lap most of the time. But, like, certain times of the day, it doesn't matter. Even if Kim's home, she's in my lap. Like, if we're both home during lunchtime, like in the summer, Bella will be in her lap, except for at lunchtime. She comes over and hangs out my lap. And then it's like, no, it's that time, Dad. It's lunchtime. You guys, this is where I'm at lunchtime.
Sit down, mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like routine to her. And so, but when I'm sick, she does, I've noticed where and that's the few rarity times where both cats will be in my lap at the same time. Usually they tolerate each other, but then one gets mad because the other's taking the spot, or one's getting more than the other, and then the fight ensues and someone gets thrown off. But when I'm sick, I've had it where they both coexist.
Yep. And it's nice, when you're used to, them nitpicking like little kids.
Yeah.
And then they're just calmly laying, and you're like, oh, this is peace.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I think they both have a love-hate relationship with each other. Like, deep down, they love each other. Because anytime one has hurt or anything, the other one runs right up and gets on their nose like, you okay, you okay, you okay? Like anything, like accidentally step on a tail or something, and then when the other, that. But at the same time, if the other one's laying in the other lap and the other one wants to be in it, they'll go up there and just whack the out of them, kick them off.
Yes. And it's funny because, like, Honeybee, she's learning, that the pit bulls just want to love her.
Yeah.
And, she has little dog syndrome, so, she's going to snip and get cranky. Well, Titus is clumsy, and he had stepped on Blake one day, and Blake had yipped. And so Honeybee flew. I don't know where she came from, but she just, like, darted across the room and ran over to Blake, like, are you okay? Are you okay? And Blake's looking at her like, you just tried to bite me 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but that was different.
And she's like, yeah. She's like,
it's this brotherly or sisterly, it's that sibling
I laugh because
relationship.
I'm like, this is like a bunch of, like, toddlers thrown in the back of a station wagon.
Mm-hmm.
She's touching me.
Yeah. But it just kind of proves that, sometimes you look at us and we're like, well, we're not that different. It's all, there's a lot of shared traits there.
Yeah, except we don't drag our butts across the floor.
Right.
Or we shouldn't if we do.
Yeah, don't recommend it. But
yeah.
It's your house, you do you.
Just tell me not to come over.
That's right. Yeah, I won't be coming over for dinner tonight. But
it is close to October.
Yes.
And so
this will be that time of year here.
Starting October 1st, any solid black cat or solid white cat will not be available for adoption in the month of October.
They're quarantined for their protection.
And we go all the way to November 6th.
Yep. And it's because of the Halloween holiday. And
it is.
A certain small percentage of people do certain weird things. And they go to places like the Humane Society. By the way, if you do have black and white cats,
keep them inside. Don't let them outside.
Don't let them out because they will
update your microchip information.
There will be people looking for them. It's just sad.
And make sure that if you don't have them microchipped, get them microchipped. We know animals slip out of doors on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the time of the year where you need to make sure that it does not happen.
Yeah, even more so. Yeah.
There are fun few tricks that, if your cat likes to try to sneak through the door, get an old metal coffee can or a Coke can, toss some pennies in there and tape it shut. And then when they walk by that can or walk by the door, just toss the can and hit the door so it makes that clinky sound.
Yeah.
So the cat's scared of the door because of that
that
sound. And that'll help keep your cats from trying to detour outside.
It's kind of like the you're talking about earlier with the little dog. As soon as the spoon hits the thing and hears that sound, it knows exactly what it means. Same thing, but opposite reaction.
Yes, yes. They will not run to it. They will run away.
Yeah. Speaking of pets, what's at the shelter right now? What's our animals
so we
selection
have a
look like?
couple of older not Pekingese, I'm sorry, Shih Tzus that came out of quarantine. They're about 7-ish.
Okay. So they're middle-aged.
Mm-hmm. One's name's Pocahontas and one is Cinderella.
And those are smaller, so they usually 14, 15. They've got a little bit longer than a bigger dog.
Yeah, and they're right about 12 to 14 pounds.
Okay.
They're not tiny, but they're not big either.
Right.
One thing that people do need to realize when it comes to certain breeds of dogs, they do have to be groomed about every 8 to 10 weeks.
Okay.
They are a high-maintenance breed.
Okay.
Because they shed, but it doesn't technically fall out and it mats.
Okay, so you got to get those matting out or they're going to have all kinds of problems.
And so they have to, and if you want to let their hair grow out, which is great because they're beautiful, but you have to brush it regularly because
just like if you have long hair, you got to maintain it just like they do. Yeah.
Now, with the season we're coming into and the weeds dying off and certain stickers, their hair is very prone to collect those stickers.
So if you got one that runs through the brambles all the time, you're going to have a heck of a time cleaning that one up.
Yes. So the majority of people that live in this area that have these breeds, typically like in the winter months, they'll keep them in a medium clip, and then they'll keep their legs and their paws completely clipped.
Okay.
Just because, like when they're outside going to the bathroom, it doesn't get in their paw pads. We do have...
And those are any pet owner's nightmare, the goat heads.
They really are. We have 2 lab mixes. I kind of think they might be Mastiff mixed. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
They were found out in East Grand Plains as strays.
But they're big dogs.
They are. Ruby and Scrim. It's a boy and a girl. Scrim is about 35 pounds, and he's only 3 months old.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And Ruby's a little bit smaller. I'd say she's probably pushing 20, 25.
Okay.
But
they're going to be a barrel of fun.
He's a hunk.
Yeah.
And
I bet they're lap dogs. Just
they
like the bigger they are, the more they want to be in your lap.
Yes, they do. They're super sweet, super cute. We do have a 6-month-old shepherd mix. His name is Moose.
Okay.
Moose is named Moose for a reason.
Shepherds are so intelligent animals. They are. I mean, there's a reason why they're used for canine duties a lot. But I never owned one. I've had a mix, but my neighbor when I was a kid, they owned 2 German Shepherds. They were the coolest dogs on the planet. I mean, they were that protective, but so you could roll on the floor with them. But at the same time, if things went down, them dogs were on alert. It was just an amazing breed.
He looks almost exactly purebred, except for 2 things.
Okay.
He does not have the long, skinny nose, and he does not have the slender head.
Okay.
So he has...
But the coat and the hair...
everything else. He has kind of like
German?
a lab head.
Okay.
And like a lab snout.
Okay.
But everything else is German Shepherd. Color, ears,
my
hair.
guess, the temperament of that dog is going to be even more family-oriented.
And he is super active.
Yeah.
He does need a very active family. He's going nuts in the kennel because he just wants to go.
If you got a yard with some acreage, that might be a good pet for that household.
But also if you have some free time and some capabilities of walking the bigger dogs, come visit us because we have some that are really needing to get out and get some more exercise. And the weather's great this time of the year.
So if you if you like to volunteer, this is especially maybe if you're a person that is that pet lover, but you live in a home that just isn't conductive for pets,
or your landlord doesn't allow
or your landlord doesn't allow it, but you need a fix. then come visit our pets. You can, like I said, this is the time of year we can take the dogs out for walks. But even when the weather's not good, we can take some of the pets and you can go into the meet and greet room.
Yes.
And spend one-on-one time with the pet, just getting them used to hanging out and playing and loving on people, because that is it's prepping them to be more appealing to when families come walking through and see the dogs, and makes them more
and it helps them, like when they're getting out of the kennel and they're getting daily interaction with people other than the staff at the shelter, that helps them to know that it's okay to be friendly.
It gives a trusting. It breaks down whatever walls or barriers that these animals have built to protect themselves.
Yes. We do have some dachshund mixed puppies. People are going crazy on the internet, blowing up our phone.
They're a very, like, I don't know if there's a lot of people that want those dogs, but the ones that do are very
wiener fanatics.
Fanatical about it. Yes.
They're wiener fanatics. So they just barely got their second set of shots yesterday.
Okay.
So they still have another week or so to go. Now, because they are puppies and we are still kind of seeing parvo distemper type stuff, we're being a little bit extra cautious just because we want to make sure that when they get adopted, there's nothing that goes home.
Okay. Just curious, I don't know why I just spawned this question right now. I guess just talking to littler breed dogs, but dogs that have more breathing difficulties, like your boxers and smash face type dogs, are they more susceptible to parvo and things just because of germs, and they're because the way they breathe and it's a better breeding ground for that kind of thing? Or
it's not so much their brachiocephalic.
Yeah.
It is more so genetics.
Okay.
So you have boxers, pit bulls, bulldogs, Rottweilers, Dobermans that are all very prone to parvo.
Gotcha.
And that's just because of the overbreeding and the inbreeding.
Okay. So it's just
And
we just ruined the ruined the line basically.
Yes, we did. But also, just like us with the dogs, depending on our immune system, depends on whether they can fight off the common cold or any of that.
Just like any other human, if they're some are healthier than others, and some are better at fighting it than others. And,
so if we have like a weakened immune system, we're going to be susceptible to stuff.
Sure.
But
I was just thinking, I was like, well, I didn't know, because I know that's kind of a germ.
They're also very prone to cancer.
Okay.
And that's just genetics from overbreeding and inbreeding.
Sure. Sometimes you got to let Mother Nature do. Mother Nature knows a little bit better than us on how to do these things sometimes.
Right. But when you have your short-snouted breeds, they do tend to overheat in mild temperatures. Short-snouted breeds, you always want to make sure that you keep them.
So in New Mexico climate, you got to be on especially, 3/4 of the year, you got to be on top of that, basically, yeah.
You want to make sure that they're not overweight. Obviously, you don't want them underweight, but keep them on like a leaner side.
But because of their breathing, it more
helps.
girth means harder. I mean, when you're fatter, it's harder to breathe. When you're skinnier, it's not. It is, yeah. And same goes with them.
It does. And it also helps them be able to expand their lungs more to breathe in better.
Okay. So get more quality breaths.
Yes.
Get more oxygen and go into the organs and, doing what it's supposed to do.
Yes. And never leave them outside.
But, that's just it. So, and that's something to think about, especially if you're being a first-time pet owner and things, when you're choosing breeds and things like that.
Mutts.
You know what? To be honest, I've never owned a purebred of anything my whole life. Everything's been a mix. I mean, I've had more lab heavy but at the end of the day, it was lab mixed with a pit bull actually. But one of the best dogs I ever had. But I'm telling you, you will have. This is just my personal experience. You will have a better pet ownership, family relationship experience with that dog if it's a mutt. And the only reason I mention that is because they're generally more intelligent. They're more in tune with picking up on you.
And they're less healthy.
And they're much more healthy. They generally don't have the like you said, those cancer. I mean, sure, everything. And obviously, if it's heavy lab or heavy something, then you're going to have to pay more attention to some of their issues. But by and large, they're a healthier. Their immune systems are better. Their reproductive systems better shape. And by the way, and then if you get your pet spayed or neutered, which you should be doing,
yes,
then
please.
giving them a better health ticket, because a lot, especially in cats, especially, there's a lot of cancers and things that those threats go away the moment they are not able to reproduce.
So with the female dog, they have a cycle just like us humans.
Mm-hmm.
However, they can't tell us, hey, I feel weird. There's something going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time we realize with any female cat
The
or
damage
dog,
is done.
It's almost too late.
You're not doing mammograms or whatever screenings like you do on a human.
And so females get what's called pyrometra, and that's an infected uterus. And there's no external signs of this until they start to ooze from the vulva. And then by that point, it's an emergency surgery because it's rushed to save this pet's life.
Success rates are way down.
Because it's about to rupture.
Mm-hmm.
And you can
it's like
prevent
finding
that.
stage 4 cancer. And it's like, well, we're going to fight, but we're way behind the 8 ball here. Yeah.
Right. And so it is very preventable if you spay or neuter ahead of time.
It just eliminates that risk altogether.
And it also eliminates the possibilities of having breast cancer, because dogs and cats get breast cancer the same as we do.
And I would imagine, you have a nursing and all that increases that chance probably tenfold.
It does. And then when, they're weaning off the puppies, a lot of the times these pets get mastitis, which is buildup of milk glands. And then that leads to the lumps and all of that. So it's easily preventable by spaying and neutering your pet.
Yeah.
There are programs available. Animal Control now has spay-neuter grants or vouchers. Sorry.
So you get low-cost spay and neuters here.
And then I was sent a message yesterday, actually, about one coming up in October. It is with Wild Blue, and it is for cats. It's a spay-neuter clinic. It's going to be October 19th and 20th, and excuse me. You go on to the Peace of Mind Rescue Facebook page, and then it's got the link to be able to get an appointment set up.
Maybe I'm hoping because we do have a few great groups, and they'll kind of go and collect some of the feral cats and have them
this
spayed
is
or
part of it.
neutered.
So it's saying if you have a feral cat community, they're asking for a $10 deposit to hold that appointment. And so all feral cats need to be brought in a cat trap. They don't want them coming in pet carriers. They want them in traps. So that way they can safely sedate them.
Feral cats aren't your house cats.
No,
they aren't going to they're not going to come up and rub on your leg.
Nope. And so they're asking just to go ahead and, trap them.
Yeah.
And they'll bring them in the trap. And so what they'll do is they'll sedate them, get them out, fix them, get them set up nice and cozy back in the trap, and then you'll pick them up and be able to release them out of the trap after they come out of the anesthesia.
This might be a dumb question, but I don't know, because I've never, where can you easily get one of these traps at a Petco or something?
You could purchase them at Petco, Tractor Supply, Roswell Livestock. We have traps for, we can allow you to use them for a week, and it's a $100 deposit.
Okay.
And then when you bring the trap back, we give you the deposit back.
Okay. So you can kind of rent it or borrow it, so to speak.
Yeah, basically you're borrowing it, and if you don't return it, I take your $100 and I go buy a new one.
Okay. Or imagine if you want to go buy one or two and use them, and then if you don't need any more, donate it, and they'll have an extra one or two at the Humane Society.
Yes. So there's, I'm not sure if Paul's Vet carries them, but I do know Roswell Livestock
They do carry a lot of stuff, so it'd be worth a check out. So, yeah.
But I can guarantee that Roswell Livestock, Tractor Supply, and Petco, because I've gotten them from 3 of those
Probably
places.
won't find them in your big box stores, but
no, actually, Walmart you can get, but there's smaller ones.
And see, I'm just worried people will grab those plastic pet carriers instead, and that's not what we're talking about.
No, you want to look for a live, humane animal trap.
Yeah, it's more different than that thing you carry your cat to the vet in.
When you watch TV shows and they talk about, raccoons, and then you see the raccoons in the little box trap, that's the trap we're talking about.
Yeah, this is the stuff like the ASPCA and those groups are going out and rescuing animals.
Yes, but we do have them available if you need to rent one or borrow one. We just do require a $100 deposit, and it's cash or check.
Okay.
And just call ahead of time, because sometimes throughout the year we do tend to get a little bit of a waiting list for them, because people are trapping animals. And
well, as an event comes up like this, demand's going to increase for those kinds of things. So that's why I'm kind of guessing if you kind of want to do the Humane Society a solid. Maybe go out and buy you one and then use it. And when you're done with it, donate it. And then the Humane Society they have a half dozen sitting there at any given time. They can loan them out as needed.
Yes, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah. Okay. Salt time. Is there anything else we need to make sure we mention?
No, I just need to thank Sean again for dusting off the stool and, coming and helping us. He did. I'm so proud of him. And he was so amazing. Stressed. And between the two of us, I think we were both nervous wrecks, but we pulled it off.
Well, and I'm sure you had the same experience, but he was talking about how cool Clay was with him through the whole process, from the beginning to afterwards, and even follow up. He's like, like he got the interpretation that Clay had a very positive experience here, even more so. I did
too. And the next morning, like at 8:00 in the morning, I'm getting an email from Clay with photos he had taken, and he's like, "Thank you so much."
Yeah.
And
Sean was like, "I went through his feed, and he goes, he doesn't do that everywhere he goes." So I kind of got a feeling he felt a little extra love in Roswell, New Mexico last week.
Well, we wanted to make him feel very welcomed here because he was the first person to reach out to us for something of this multitude.
And let's face it, he's turning his platform for him to get to the upper echelons of what he does, he's literally got to go from bar to bar, night to night, club hopping, hitting things in and out, may get on a set, may not get on a set, and grow his name. And doing events like this, though, are good for him as far as, but it speaks more to his platform than to where he's going. Like he's not trying to be the next Jerry Seinfeld. He's trying to be a comedian and use that to help animals. And that's kind of very cool to do that. It's like, because he could easily go hit the circuit and probably, and the right people find him, and next thing you know, he's got a sitcom on NBC. And that's a lot to give up to do this or that path. You know what I mean?
And
so that's pretty impressive.
Chose to do it for animals to bring awareness to small nonprofits.
Absolutely. So, cool. And who knows? Maybe someday he will springboard and we'll be seeing, the Clay Show on NBC or something, one night. But
the Foleys.
It just feels like he's building his career different that way. So it's pretty cool. No.
But, big thanks to him and to Sean for helping make last Friday night a huge success.
Absolutely. RoswellHumane.org. You go there, see all the animals that call the Humane Society home. If you see not available, that means they're in quarantine. They're not adopted. If you fall in love with one of those, check back. Don't forget, beginning October 1 through the rest of the month and into the first couple days into November, no black or white cats will be adopted at the Humane Society. You can bring them in, but we won't come out.
They got to sit tight with us for a little while.
Yeah, until the season passes.
Yes.
Well, thank you as always, Crystal.
Thank you.
Glad you're doing a little better, and we'll see you next time.
Yes.
All right, it is 9:57. Let us take a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
The Fall Into Savings sales event is on now at Roswell Hyundai, the home of...
Yes.
Get a 24 Hyundai Tucson SE just $442 a month, or a 24 Hyundai Elantra SEL just $379 a month, and test drive the all-new 25 Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid, rugged and ready for wherever the road takes you. 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select vehicles, and don't forget to sign up to win one of 2 65-inch 4K smart TVs to be given away September 21st and 28th at 1 p.m. The Fall Into Savings sales event on now at the home of Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd. The Roswell Symphony Orchestra is warming up for their 66th season, and you're invited to opening night with KO Plays Elgar, Saturday, October 12th, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell. Brahms' Academic Festival Overture and Elgar's Concerto for Cello and Orchestra bookends the world premiere of Bucolic Celebration, written by Southeast New Mexico's own Mark Del Porto. Tickets are available now online at roswellsymphony.org or at the door. Get your tickets now, then come be a part of opening night of the historic 66th season of the Roswell Symphony Orchestra, sponsored in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Check out some of the 99-cent bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select varieties of banquet pot pies are 99 cents each, and select bags of Food Club frozen vegetables are also 99 cents each. In produce, large Honeycrisp apples are 99 cents a pound, and Roma tomatoes are also 99 cents a pound. In the meat department, boneless, skinless chicken breasts are $2.99 a pound, and family packs of bone-in sirloin cut pork chops are 99 cents a pound. These are just some of the 99-cent bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It's closing in on 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. If you missed any part of our show, check it out at your leisure. Log on to ksvptv.com. Click in the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our interviews there. And don't forget, football tomorrow. We'll have it for you right here and online, ksvptv.com. Have a great day. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow. Take care.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted on federal charges alleging that he took bribes and illegal campaign contributions from foreign sources. The indictment contends Adams compounded his gains from the illegal contributions by gaming the city's matching funds program, which provides a generous match for small dollar donations. Prosecutors allege that Adams also solicited and demanded bribes, including free and heavily discounted luxury travel benefits from a Turkish official, saying the official was seeking Adams' help pertaining to regulation